go, buddy.
Let me have one of my jerseys.
Oh. Is that trash can? We put you right in there. You can't put me anywhere. You put Jack Scott there, but you can't put me there. Talks the talk. I don't think I can talk to that. He'll try though. He'll give you a shot. Yeah. He'll give you an extra.
That's what's going.
That's good.
Nice. That's scary.
Yeah, that's a scary mess.
Very scary.
When you stopped moving completely, and I was like, Dan is terrified right now. Don't say anything until you fix the problem.
And I'm not going to say anything because I'm like, I don't know how to fix it, so I'm not going to chime in. Do you think you should try waving at it? Months ago, practice began. Tryouts. Days of bag skating, working hard, wondering, wishing, waiting. Will we win a title? Will we find our way? For two teams, just one game separates title from non-title, winner from non-winner, champion from runners-up. Who will win the title? Who will win the day? Who will rule the tea? It is tea time here. It is morning time. Tea time early in golf. Tea time early with a nice little cup of tea. Well, guess what? We had our coffee because this tea, the only tea that matters today, is the TSCHL Conference Championship game. It is title time in Louisville. Oh, a city that crowns champions of stallion-esque qualities. A city that has thoroughbreds, fast racers, fast runners, and strong distilled spirits. The spirit of hockey will reign supreme today. Miami of Ohio, your defending TSCHL champions, survive an overtime bout, an overtime battle. Why, hello, friends. An overtime battle with a tough, a skilled, a difficult-to-deal-with Xavier squad and a MVP. Talk about a day for Torsten Lee. Torsten Lee, star of the game of the Dan K Show, player of the year, MVP of the TSCHL, and a game-winning overtime score to send his Red Hawks to their second consecutive TSCHL title chance. On the other end, a team that hasn't been here, the Ohio State Buckeyes. It's been a while for the Buckeyes, and this year is the year in their minds. Hashtag Bucks are buzzing has been the call from Dan K and the Dan K Show throughout the weekend. But for the Buckeyes, one name has still kind of lied dormant, and that name is J.P. Shimko. Watch out for Shimko today. This young man can be game-changing. 2-1, the final score yesterday. Buckeyes beat Indiana University. The Hoosiers were sent off there on our exclusive Dan K Show stream of the game. Today, Buckeyes, Red Hawks. I mean, I could try to go through it all, but I couldn't do it myself. How about a man who is our technical director, our camera guy, our editor, our travel director. Well, he took my job from that. I'm travel director. I'm not going to give him that one. Take that one back. Our charcuterie expert. He looks good in pink. He's got a great pink shirt today, and he refuses to wear a tie because he said it keeps his brain from working at full capacity. And he's a man with the largest head size I've seen since Barry Bonds. He cannot wear a normal-sized hat. Does not fit. It's Lucas Jones. Lucas, slide out into the booth.
Dan,
Thank you for that intro, but I feel like, the attention that is on these two teams right now steals the show away from all of my jobs, this incredible suit.
Ow!
Oh, are you okay? Are you going to be able to make
guy.
it?
You can't just be hitting me up here.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is going to be an incredible game, Dan, because these two teams have played their way through a few incredible games and some really tough opponents just to get themselves here.
And this is a situation today, Lucas. You look at this Miami of Ohio side, and I got to ask you, how do you beat them? How do you beat this team? Because yesterday, Xavier, that was a desperate team, all out, everything they had, and still unable to beat them in overtime.
Yeah, it's difficult. It's certainly difficult because what Xavier was able to do is Xavier was able to meet them at almost every turn, Dan, and they were able to play a good combination of offense and defense, but the offense was generated by the high pressure, and I think that's one thing that we took away from yesterday's game is that high pressure can beat this Miami of Ohio team because it stops them from getting that skating downhill started. It forces them to work harder in their own zone, and the harder you make this team work away from your own net, the more tired they'll be when they inevitably get there.
You look at the Buckeyes side, and one thing you worry about is staying out of the box. You cannot go to the box. You cannot have to kill penalties against this Miami of Ohio team. How do they do that today?
Well, you have to play clean, and it's going to be difficult because both of these teams have speed, they have skill, they have an ability to draw penalties, and I think that's one thing that has sort of separated them from the other teams in this tournament so far, is their ability to create these penalties, these desperation hookings, the trips. In some cases, the frustration has boiled over into a boarding call or two.
Yes.
And then they have an ability to capitalize on those mistakes and to make them hurt. If you can come away with a 35 or a 40% power play, you're winning this game. That's going to be the difference maker in today's contest.
Big news out of the locker room here from Miami of Ohio before this one. Ryan Jenkins, a scratch today. Illness for Ryan Jenkins. You're down a defenseman now. You saw that Jenkins and Bishop pairing yesterday was so important late in the game for Miami of Ohio. Now you're going to see some mixing and matching. Only 5 defensemen for the side. How do you survive that loss?
Yeah, well, you have to treat it as 2 lines and a roving defenseman. I think that's the way to do it. You're not really going to be able to run your normal defensive pattern in this game. So you're going to have to short shift in the first period. You're going to have to short shift a little bit in the second period, Dan. And I think the way to get away from that is to make the forwards work a little bit harder.
Yep.
Keep the puck on the boards. Try not to get the defenseman buried too deep in the offensive zone. They're a very comfortable team without their defenseman crashing the net. So I think in that sense, they're not reliant on their defense to create more offensive pressure. Those defensemen can hang up by the blue line, act as the generals. They can oversee the offensive effort, and they have the ability to recognize when they need to hatch back and backskate. Those 2 things I think are going to come in handy today.
Now it's time to announce the TSCHL All Honorable Mention team. So today we will have the All Honorable Mention team now. We will have the All Second Team TSCHL squad after the first period. And after the second period, at the second intermission, we'll have the All First Team TSCHL squad. And we've got some superstars on the Honorable Mention, so I can't imagine what it looks like down the list.
Oh, this is going to be a hefty list right here, Dan.
Starting at the forward position, we're going to have 5 forwards on this Honorable Mention team. It shows you how hard it was to pick for this thing. First, Mike White of Bowling Green. Bowling Green continues. It's award season for Bowling Green right now.
Yeah, certainly is. They are racking them up.
Next up, Noah Klinsky, who is a guaranteed face-off win every time he's in the circle. He's a big-time steadying force for this Miami of Ohio side, and a guy who might just be a game changer today.
Yeah, he's been an impact player, and he was a couple of people's picks to get that game-winning goal.
How about forward Eric Chidester from Dayton, the Dayton Flyers, Eric Chidester. I'll tell you what, when you watch a Dayton Flyer game, Chidester is the guy who stands out right now.
Yeah, he stands out for sure, and he cracked his way into our tournament breakdown preview that we posted, so he definitely does well on and off the ice.
Bartender, Jack Jordan, that is, and this guy is Air Jordan from Indiana University. Saw him yesterday taking on this Buckeyes side. He's an El Capitan, and he's a big-time force.
Yeah, no, he really is that leader over there, and I think that's why he cracks this list. He's one of those players that when he steps on the ice, the momentum can swing.
The final all honorable mention forward, Mitch Morial of Xavier University, also co-rookie of the year.
Yeah, I mean, he's another one who's just racking them up. Mitch looked good yesterday, Dan, and I think this player has a bright future.
Continuing here, we go 2 defensemen. The forwards getting all the love on the all-honorable mention team. 2 defensemen here. How about a guy we saw a lot of yesterday, Cole Shelgren of Xavier University. And, I mean, you couldn't say enough about him yesterday.
No, and Xavier's got some great guys on that squad. I mean, up and down the lines, offense, defense. This is a great-looking team.
Finally, the last defenseman on the all-honorable mention team from Ohio State University. Oh, should I say the Ohio State University? It's Sam Gross, and it's just gross how good this young man is.
Yeah, I mean, Sam has definitely, I think, left his mark on this conference this year. He's been heavily favored in a lot of their victorious contests, and I think that will continue to be the case.
3 goaltenders make the all-honorable mention squad. We start with Ryan Durkin from Bowling Green, and I'll tell you what, when they needed a goaltender at Bowling Green, they were thinking Durkin.
Oh man, there you go, Dan. That's a pun worthy of someone who has made this list for sure. I mean, this league I think starts and ends with its goaltenders, and I think this goaltender just has had a good season. Bowling Green had a decent showing here today, and this is a building franchise, and they'd love to build around goaltenders like that.
Want to know how good the net minding is with Miami of Ohio? Today, Mr. Karasik is going to be starting. Karasik, like Jurassic Park, and he is scary like Jurassic Park when the dinosaurs get loose. But the 2 honorable mention goaltenders remaining, both Miami of Ohio backups, Ben Camp and Colt Hanks. Colt Hanks, Ben Camp, both all honorable mention team for Miami of Ohio.
I mean, how do you even come up against that? How do you come up against one of the best goaltenders in the league and then look to the bench and see some of the 2 other best goaltenders in the league? What an incredible job by Miami of Ohio.
It's been a great year. Again, congratulations to all the all honorable mention stars. Later on today, we will have our first intermission, all second team, our second intermission, all first team. We'll also have an interview with Commissioner Tim Driscoll. We'll talk about the league, the State of the Union address with him, talk a little bit about why a player should pick the TSCHL. I think we've shown you why all weekend long. I think it's an easy choice. I know a lot of our junior hockey stars from around the world are watching with us, and this is a situation here. You look at this, it's an opportunity to play high-quality hockey, high-level hockey in a high-level environment in front of fans, in front of atmosphere, and on a big campus. These are 2 Division I campuses. You try going to the Ohio State University, you go to Miami of Ohio, you can't pick a better place to play. The TSCHL, the league in the US of A. We cannot wait. It's championship time. Take us down to ice level. We're getting ready for the opening of this one. It is about to be that famous time, those famous words from Dan K. Not start your engines, not end their off. It's going to be even more. It's going to be hockey time here in Louisville. Coming up next, Dan K, Lucas Jones, the Dan K Show presents the TSCHL Championship game. As Howard Costo would say, it's going to be a good one, Lucas, and I hope you're excited.
Oh, I'm extremely excited. This is what we've all been waiting for, Dan.
It is hockey time in Louisville. Face-off, puck drop. Jammed up off the boards and out, Lipovich on it. White and red will be Miami of Ohio. In the full red with the white stripes will be the Buckeyes. Thrown in front for a quick shot, one-timer from Klinsky goes wide. Immediately after it goes Klinsky. He gets on the ice, things happen, he's a superhuman. Oh, Noah Klinsky at it again. Back in, gonna plinko this one off the boards out to the blue line, right back after it. Getting the start in net for Miami of Ohio, it's Daniel Karasik. Karasik gets the start. D-man to D-man look there, it's gonna be fired ahead and tapped along center. Good little backhand shiver along by Nick Shantz. Nick Shantz, an ACHA D2 All-Star this year, will look to play a huge role for his Buckeyes on the back end. We thank you so much for watching this free broadcast presented by The Dan K Show, the most watched show in junior and college hockey. The Dan K Show airs every Thursday on YouTube.com. This one handed off wide side. He takes the shot. It's blocked. Rebound try in front. Diving on top of it is Karasik. Wears a little bit of a hit from Jacob Clark, who's not going to make any friends in front with that one.
No, and that's tough to kind of hit the brakes in that short of a span there, Dan. You're charging hard on the goaltender. All of a sudden the whistle blows, and you got to throw the parachute out behind you.
On a face-off here, it's going to be Hakan Salt, the new Salt Bay in Ohio State. For Miami of Ohio taking the face-off, Joey Jenkins. We remind you, a scratch today, Ryan Jenkins, the defenseman, as this one's won onto the net of Karasik. He covers it up and gives a little bit of a head nod to his face-off guy. Hey, let's keep this one away from me here.
Let's maybe win it in the other direction.
One back up top, holding and waiting with this one. There's a shot from Ebersol, gloved out of the air by Karasik. A good start for Danny Boy.
Yeah, Karasik is not afraid to cover this puck. He has supreme faith in his face-off guys and their ability to win it forward. Ohio State, though, just as happy to keep firing pucks on net.
Face-off one forward, retreating back to the blue line. It's going to be spun around the boards by Ebersol. Ebersol gets it as far as the corner. Looking back up top, this one squirts loose. The shot gets blocked out to the blue line, but held in, kept alive. Using those backboards to kick this one in deep. Centering pass in front, stolen away. Joey Jenkins gets in the way of it. Lost back up top. Miami of Ohio skating with just 9 forwards, 5 defensemen. Injuries hurting this squad. It did. Kate wore one. Oh, no. Carnage in the booth.
We got to get a better net up here. That's the
they
second
almost
one.
hit our camera. Keep it on the ice, boys. Oh man, I didn't put a suit on like this and start parading around so I could be hit by hockey pucks.
Oh, you're apparently in the danger zone up here, Dan.
Highway to the danger zone. Watch out, top guns out there for both sides. Down the ice here, trying to skate this one in front. Getting the start in net for Ohio State. Yet again, Declan Rooney, yesterday's star of the game in the semifinal matchup, a 2-1 victory. Declan Rooney kept his side alive, kept them in it, and led the Buckeyes to a title chance. This one flipped back ahead, kept it at the blue line. What a good start here for number 20 of Ohio State, Jacob Clark. He has been everywhere to me. The Michelle Branch start. When Miami of Ohio closes their eyes, it's Jacob Clark they see as that one's flipped on up into the netting. Was it Michelle Branch? Why can't I ever remember who sings the song?
I think it's Michelle Branch.
Everywhere to me is Michelle Branch, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not going to sing it.
Please don't.
We'll clear the building.
The fans here want to be entertained, not terrified.
Are you not entertained? What was that? What impression was that? Face-off one, reeled around into the corner. Buckeyes looking to make their way forward. Tapped on through legs, kicked back up at center. Trying to jam that one in deep. Tangled up along the boards one more time. Nice work there. Good battle by Noah Tilton. Going to lean on Tilton a little bit more heavily today. He's going to have to skate a little extra time without Ryan Jenkins out there. You're going to see these defenseman pairs mix up. Talked with Coach before this one, and he was telling us a little bit about, the struggles you're going to have with less men. Down a guy, down to the defenseman. You have to survive now. There are no other folks coming. Step up, fill the place. Your Ohio State have to keep that high pressure on this Miami team. Cannot fall asleep on the man leaking out. Good hard Plinko pass, spun ahead by Shantz. It's going to be tapped into the zone. It'll start a race for it. Hunter Wallace thought he'd get it first. He gets bumped off that puck. It's going to be taken right back away. Shantz going wide side, allows this side to get a change. Tried to carry it on net. A nice little tandem action play there. Gamikia combines with Joey Jenkins on a deflection and the turnover forced. All the way back down the other way, a little over 16 to go here. First period of play of your TSCHL Conference Championship game. A clapper taken there on the loose puck. And that's Drew Bishop, who is quickly becoming one of Dan K's favorite players in the country right now. Drew Bishop is a guy who just quietly has just made so many things happen. And so many times defensemen who don't end up highly on the score sheet just get overlooked in games. And folks look at that number and they look for the Yandles of the world, and they look for those defensemen like PK Subban who want to score, and there's a trip coming up against Ohio State here. That one's thrown in front, doesn't matter as it's touched up. The first penalty of the day going to go against Dennis Ruppy and Ohio State.
Yeah, and that's a tough call to take. I mean, you saw it. The folks at home saw that one pretty up close and personal. You're fighting for the puck down on the corner boards. You got two guys who are skating hard, charging hard into the zone. And, sometimes, Dan, that stick just feels like it's 10 feet long and you can't get it out of the way. You try your best, but in the end, you're stuck going to the box for a tripping call, and now you're going to have to kill it. At the very least here, Dan, this is an early penalty. It's a chance to shake off the cobwebs, a chance to get that penalty kill loosened up for the rest of the game.
And with that call for the first time today, the Miami of Ohio Redhawks on on the power play. A power play here for the Red Hawks. So potent on the power play. There's a shot paddle to the corner. Talked about in the pregame show, the biggest worry for this Buckeye side for me was the penalty minutes, was staying out of the box. They've had some trouble with it this weekend. It has not come back to haunt them yet. They had to kill a ton of penalties against Xavier yet late. They had to kill a ton of penalties against Louisville late. They have to stay out of the box to compete with a team like Miami of Ohio. You will not get away with mistakes.
Yeah, you really have to play a clean game, and the importance on that, I mean, how many times, Dan, have we seen a penalty, especially in the third period, result in a game-changing lead or game-swinging momentum?
There's a shot taken, takes an odd deflection. Rooney going to paddle it aside. Shot came off the stick there from Brendan Madsen. Madsen, another defenseman they're going to lean heavily on. He gets that one quickly off the paddle of Karasik. Karasik gets it up to him. Madsen throws the brakes on. He'll have to retreat back towards his own zone for a second, build some space. Good eye pressure from Ohio State. Trying to jump in and play that one was Klenkar. Charlie Klenkar had an incredible game yesterday. He was all over the place, creating turnovers, creating opportunities, breaking away as there's a shot through bodies. Rooney never saw it, didn't have to. Tip back to the corner for Lipovic. Lipovic will reel this one around the boards, back behind. Battling forward is Philip Smith, trying to be Mr. Smith right here as he flips it back up to the top of the circle. Has some space for the shot, tapped on it and score! It's a power play goal! And Miami of Ohio, just like that, finds the back of the net, shot on net, deflected through, score, and it's your MVP. Torsten Lee. It rhymes all the times, and this guy scores goals all the times. He's dropping dimes. It's Torsten Lee.
Well, Dan, nobody else but Torsten Lee. I mean, who would you expect to come out here in the first period of play and put this Red Hawks team up on the board?
Oh, this guy's going to own a haberdashery if we have to give him another hat today, Lucas. He's got every award. He's a Rookie of the Year, now an MVP, and now here they come out in the break again. It's Wallace with a 2-on-1. Can they get another one? It's thrown in front, paddle aside. Big stop by Rooney. Oh, a quick 2-on-1 right off the last goal scored. That would have been a heartbreaker there for Ohio State. Have to settle things down here. Miami of Ohio buzzing right now. That one's thrown through, did not get a touch. Icing whistled, icing called. It'll come all the way back down the other end. What a shot there. It was a slap shot deflected through by Torsten Lee, who came flashing out of nowhere. And I will tell you what, he's one of the best players you've seen. He's the next Yanni Sukis right here. This guy's taking the reins.
Well, and that's why we talk about the importance of playing a clean game. You know, it's not a cliche, even though it's often repeated, Dan. The importance of staying out of the box, especially in a championship game. These are the two best teams in the conference. You can't give them any more advantages than they already have.
Back into the Buckeye zone. They'll hold and wait. Throwing on the brakes is Ebersol. Ebersol will skate this one up across the blue line, hand on ahead. Tried to tap that one through, in the way of it yet again, Noah Tilton. Noah Tilton has tilted this game in the right direction with his play. That's the second time he's had a big jump in play to cut off a passing lane. There's a shot in front, poked away. Another poke saved by Rooney. Heavily tested in the first 7 of this one. Back on through. Buckeye's going to fire this one out off a body. Out of his net to settle it down. It's going to be Karasik trying to get to him there first. Reaching out for it was Jacob Clark. He won't get there. Flipped on up off the glass. Right at Dan K. Now I'm flinching. I didn't flinch last time. It actually came through. This time it comes up to the netting. Oh, I'm embarrassed. I'm going to take a break.
That's right, Dan. You take a little bit of a sit here and kind of figure out if you actually want to be a hockey broadcaster or if you just want to sit at home and do nothing.
I just want to wear the suits.
You changed your whole career path just so you could wear flashy suits.
That's all it was. Tell you what, you walk into the office of one of these, they're kicking you out. You're a distraction, they say. It was also because I had a little air horn I used to play every time I'd make a sale. Business world wasn't cut out for me, Lucas. This one back on top, holding and waiting, fired out the center. Reeling that one in, out they go. Holding wide side is Schmidt. Schmidt tried to center it on in front. That's tapped through. Finds its way to the blue line for a wrister by Madsen. Rooney couldn't find it, didn't have to. It finds its way out of play. Whistle blows, stoppage here.
Yeah, and right now, you know, Ohio State is really going to have to sort of refocus. Miami of Ohio is spending a lot of time in the offensive zone, and Ohio State is struggling to crack through the middle of the ice and get something moving past the blue line. I mean, this is going to be one of those situations now where Ohio State is going to have to redouble their efforts, maybe try and leak a guy out. You know, we talk about those dynamic plays all the time, Dan. Those plays that really change the tempo of a game if done properly.
Buckeye's going to dump this one in. One goal scored so far by the league MVP as this one shot it, hit the skate on the way through. Drew Bishop again. Drew Bishop, circle the name, underline it, another huge play. Guys playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers as that one shot on net, gloved by Rooney and held on to. With that, we remind you of the all-honorable mention team in the TSCHL. Later on today, we'll have the second team all-conference and first team all-conference squads, as there was a flop there on the far side of the ice. A nice move, trying to draw the call. Mike White of Bowling Green, Noah Klinsky of Miami of Ohio, Eric Chichester of Dayton, Jack Jordan of Indiana University, Mitch Morial of Xavier, Sam Gross and Cole Shelgren. Gross from the Ohio State University, Shelgren from Xavier, and then goaltenders Ryan Durkin, Colt Hanks, and Ben Camp. Colt Hanks and Ben Camp from Miami of Ohio, Durkin from Bowling Green. That's your all-honorable mention squad. We'll have our second team announcement at the end of this first period. Lipovich with a shot into the catching glove, save made again, and it is all Miami of Ohio, and you can see the Buckeyes are going to try to physical them up here to try to slow things down a bit, because this is it. The boys are buzzing here in Miami.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you're going to have to do. You know, you're going to have to play physically. You're going to have to try to win the puck in the dirty areas of the ice. And now you're going to have to start getting in the face of Miami of Ohio. They're still running this game right now. All the momentum's going this way. You know, but all it takes is a couple of big hits to get the boys buzzing here.
Heading back to the bench now goes Miami of Ohio. It'll come back down the other end. You got a late call on this one. And Ohio State's going to get the penalty here. They're going to get the power play chance. The penalty's going to go against Miami of Ohio after that whistle. And this is a big opportunity. You get your first chance. You just gave up a power play goal. It's time to answer back. And for the first time today, the Ohio State University is on the power play. Power play here for Ohio State. One back up to the blue line. Thought about a shot, instead he'll kick it back up. Swings it wide side. Looking for space is Salt. He'll pepper this one up to the blue line. Looking for the shot. It slapped, deflected on the way through and didn't go. Getting to stick to it there on the way was Simarusti. Back up to the blue line. Shot through. Bodies kick, saving. A beauty by Karasik. Oh, Karasik coming up Jurassic large right there. Dinosaur big. 1:35 to go on the power play. Buckeyes reset. A couple good looks there. A couple big saves by Karasik. Flipped on through. Good zone entry timed up. Jams on in front for a backhand shot. Paddled away. Trying to get the clearance. First time didn't work. Second didn't either. Kicked back into the top. Fired down low side. Thought about jamming it on in front. They'll reel it back up towards the blue. Trading places. Good little handoff. Dumps it right back up top for Rupi. Going in front. Tried to get the deflection. He will not. Behind it goes again. Jammed back around. Rupi down to play it. Thought about the shot. He takes the wrister. Never seen by Karasik. Never had to be, and finally cleared out the center. Very good start to the power play for Ohio State, but they'd like to see one go. This one's reeled around. Hard hit up at that blue line. It'll be jammed back up, trying to get in off the change. Won't do it. Good clearance by Hunter Wallace. Hunter Wallace gets just enough on it to get it out. Stolen away at center now. It's going to be a breakaway one-on-one chance. Takes a toe drag shot, blocker side and wide. Wallace now down to disrupt. Wallace going to jam this one right back out. Miami of Ohio skate all the way back down the other end. The most frustrating play in the PK as that one's fired up and out of play. And with that whistle, we remind you that the TSCHL has partnered with the National Suicide Prevention Hotline to raise awareness and help those in crisis. If you or someone you know is struggling, reach out and speak up. Text HOME, that's HOME, to 741-741, or call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-TALK. That's 1-800-273-8255. And we remind you all the pucks throughout the weekend have that ribbon, that blue ribbon, displayed heavily on them, and it's such an important cause, and it's so important to speak out, and when you think someone is in need, to reach out that helping hand.
Yeah, it's great to have these resources available, and it's even better that the TSCHL is, kind of shining a light on the resources that are available to people, especially if they're not already sure.
One back through, tries to chop that one along, bouncing puck onto the stick of Torsten Lee. That'll do it for the power play chance. Penalty killed by Miami of Ohio. That's a big-time PK for the Red Hawks. Back into the corner, flipped on up off the board, trying to find a way out there with Segura. He had to wear a big hit to do so. Poked right back down, flipped on up, out of play, heads up on the Ohio State bench. The Buckeyes bending to get out of the way.
Yeah, you know, this is it's interesting because you can kind of see where the dynamic of this game is, where Ohio State was able to get some offensive pressure on the power play, but as soon as that power play ended, Miami of Ohio was right back in the zone. Ohio State has to get some better clearances. They have to establish their own offensive presence.
Up through center, going to flip this one down in, race on after it on the forecheck. That's Revenue. Revenue going to have to play a big role. This is a large Miami of Ohio team. Revenue's got to be physical in this one, has to get involved along these boards. Going to try to do just that. Trying to reach this one out, he gets to it. Going to spin it up, takes the wide side shot up into the ceiling, and at this point, I just think it's target practice on the booth.
They're firing pucks up here with reckless abandon.
What did we do to these guys? This is personal now. Tell you what, I'm gonna wear one if we're not careful. I almost wore that one clipped my shoulder on the way in the last time around.
That's the most vulnerable part of you.
Everything's a vulnerable part of me. I'm bruised like a peach. What are we talking about here? Stubbed my toe the other day. I was a scratch.
Lower body injury.
Lower body injury. Tell you what, I'm not bouncing back from that. I'm taking a day or two. Flipped on up, quick face-off win. That's blocked into the corner. There's Drew Bishop. Bishop going to kick this one wide side. That one's handed up ahead. Racing out of the zone now across that blue line. A quick zone entry shot is blocked away. Swatted by with the glove. Held back along the corner. Trying to get this one loose. Swung back out the center. A hard hit splashing down. Oh, my Lanta. The physicality coming out now. Sam Gross going to jump that one ahead. The all-honorable mention squad member. This one kicked back through the legs. Trying to find its way across center. It's deflected up. Heads up on the bench of Miami of Ohio now. Pucks flying everywhere, and that's because sticks are on the ice. You know, Scott Stevens talked about it. You can't play defense with your stick off the ice. The puck's on the ice 90% of the time. Get your stick on the ice, play the puck, and that's what you're seeing. So you're seeing these deflections out of play.
Yeah, and that's why these two teams have been the most successful this season. It's, you know, not just talented defensive play, but it's fundamental defensive play. The fundamentals aren't flashy, Dan, but that's what gets you to the championship.
Back towards his own zone with it is Philip Smith. He's skating right now in a little bit of a defenseman spot right here, Lucas. You're seeing him kind of hatch back, and you're going to see that today. They're going to have to spell some defensemen at times, so you're going to see some forwards maybe hop out and play in a little bit of an odd position as there's a shot low, paddled and gloved by Daniel Karasik. Another big stop by Danny Boy.
You know, and it's not a bad look either, Dan. You talk about what having four forwards and one defenseman at times on the ice does for you. You know, it may impact your defensive ability, but when you get down in the offensive end, it gives you extra firepower that you normally don't see until you end up pulling a goaltender late in the game.
Face-off on by Philip Smith. Jammed up all along the boards. Going to kick this one out to Daniel McGeever. McGeever going to jump this one along for Gamakia. Gamakia gets it back into the zone. Down to play it, holding there. Hard hit into the corner. Trying to jam this one up is Miami of Ohio. Trying to just get this thing slowed down along the boards. Back up top for the one-timer. Clap bomb taken there. Waffle boarded into the corner by Rooney. Up top of the blue line. Takes the shot low. Save made. The rebound jumps out juicily. Rooney's down on the ice. Makes another stop before the whistle. Hand goes up. Call coming. Ohio State has to be careful to not get the retaliation call. Rooney takes the puck. Fires it 900 feet the other way. What's happening? Frustration.
A little bit of frustration, I think, on both sides right now. I mean, you talk about play in front of the net. Goaltenders don't like it. They don't like to be jostled. They feel like the crease is their home, and you're coming into their home right now. But, you know, the referees are doing a good job so far of keeping this game on lockdown. And, you know, both coaches, I think one of the things they're going to be talking about when they get to the locker room after the first period is that cooler heads need to prevail. We can't be losing star players. People have gotten ejected in this tournament, Dan, and you can't lose your top-line guys.
Philip Smith and Hunter Wallace both getting pointed to the box for Miami of Ohio. We're watching on the other side. And that's again, when you get to low skaters, you're Miami of Ohio, 9 forwards, 5 defensemen. Can't afford to have multiple bodies in the box at any time, especially if this does become a penalty kill, because the original call was against Miami of Ohio.
Yeah, and I think that has to enter into the equation. If that doesn't factor, then you're not facing facts here. They have to be really careful with their personnel, how they allocate them. They're already being careful with the short shifts and throwing some forwards out in the defensive slot.
So now you're going to lose 2 skaters if you're Miami of Ohio. They'll skate without Hunter Wallace. They'll skate without Philip Smith. And you'll also be on the penalty kill. Ohio State going to get the power play. What the call is going to be is the original call goes against Smith. There was then the tie-up that sent one Buckeye to the box, as well as Hunter Wallace after the play. So it becomes a 2-minute minor penalty to be served. And with that, for the second time today, the Buckeyes are on the power play. A power play here for the Buckeyes. 0 for 1 on the power play thus far, trying to make it 1 for 2.
And it looks like we're going to go 5-on-4 here, Dan, so you're still going to have some guys out on the ice. That 3-man penalty kill, we all know how tough that is.
Talking it back over again. On the bench here. Tell you, coach of Miami of Ohio, man, this is a guy he's battling out there. This is a one-man wrecking crew behind the bench, and he does such a good job. We're going to have an interview with him before the second period starts. And it's just, you can tell good people. You can tell a guy who is a player's coach through and through.
Yeah, and he's laser focused, and I think the players respond well to that. Being down on the bench, next to him while game is happening, Dan, it's amazing. He has such a commanding presence over that bench. I felt like I wanted to throw on a jersey and some skates and get out there for him.
A D-zone face-off win to start a PK, that'll get you to heaven. A lot like a 2-out hit in baseball. That's one there from Miami of Ohio. They'll get that immediate clearance. Jammed back up through center. Carrying it on through. Stolen, cleared. What a play. What a start to this game for Noah Tilton.
Yeah, Tilton is definitely responsible for a few pretty impressive plays so far in this first period. They're going to have to lean heavily on guys like that today.
Carried right on in. Racing on through with it is Clark. He's going to jam it back down along the boards. Trying to find its way into it. Couldn't get to Shimko with it. Shimko couldn't reach it all the way back out. Chance going to have to race down after it. What a start to the PK for Miami of Ohio. 3 consecutive clearances, now getting a change. Shimko going to hand it off. Trying to race back through center. Staying wide side. Breaks thrown there. It's going to be spun around the boards. Jumping down to this one's going to be Clark. Clark taps this one up for Chance. Chance loses hold of it. It's going to be a one-on-one break. This has to be a race back into it for Segura defensively. He'll race with Schmidt. Schmidt goes through the legs, tries to get it right back. Bodied into the corner by Schmidt. He's going to take it on in front by himself and jam it off the side of the net and get it back behind. Schmidt there hit hard, high there by Klenkar. Finally, it's reeled around. What a job by Schmidt. A lot of times the guy takes that skate into the corner and he just tries to run that clock a little bit more on the PK. You could see Schmidt there. Ohio State kind of let up for a second. They didn't skate with him on that last step, and he decided to go right at the net, and that's such a heady play right there. Such a smart play.
Yeah, well, it looked like he was definitely ready to skate that one into the corner. Then when he saw the space being afforded to him, he just went for it.
That was a Patrick Kane type move right there, a Kaner move. You kind of play the dead fish right there. You skate to the corner, and next thing you know, when you see that space, you go. Another turnover forced here. It's the MVP, Torsten Lee. He's going to carry it down, throw the brakes on. He'll turn it back to the corner. Finds his man flashing through. In front, it was Daniel McGeever, but it was a step behind him. He's got to go to the bench. Looks like he might have a skate malfunction. Back on through across the blue line. Slap shot taken on the zone entry from the point and wide. Slamming that one through his gross. Another slap shot goes wide of Karasik as well. Finds its way up top. A carnage-filled afternoon here early. Oh, we hope you're enjoying your cup of joe, your cup of coffee, and a little cup of TSCHL hockey right here as Lipovich jumps the passing lane. That'll do it for the power play. Takes the shot. It's gloved by Rooney. Had to make a big stop there because Lipovich is what we call in the business a sharpshooter.
Miami of Ohio right now is winning the game in transition, Dan. They're really strong in the neutral zone, that middle part of the ice. They're picking off passes. They're laying hits on bodies. They're maneuvering guys out of the way, and they are taking control of that area of the ice. That's where games are won and lost, in your ability to control the neutral zone.
One back up top, clicks it to the defenseman, takes the shot wide. Couldn't get it on. That was Noah Tilton who took the wrister. Noah Tilton has unofficially skated 55 minutes in the first 15. He is all over the place thus far. He and Drew Bishop looking to be the, It's tough to win an MVP award when you're just making all the defensive plays because people love stats. But these two, man, have just been so locked down this weekend and played above what they've needed to, even higher than they've had to.
Well, you know, we live in a stats-driven world now, Dan, but that doesn't mean that we should put any less precedent on watching these players and watching what they can do, because there's so much information that can be gained by watching how they skate off the ice, especially on the defensive side. There's so many things that go into the defensive part of the game that aren't represented by numbers.
There's a shot there. It was deflected on the way through. Shot by Lipovich and scored. Miami of Ohio by 2, stepping one skate closer to a potential championship win. The shot off the stick of Lipovich, the deflection try by Cove, Herdick, and Cove finds the back of the twine right there. Have you heard it? It's Herdick.
And that's a great look right there. I mean, you get enough guys in the zone, you turn, you try to find some space. You know what? That's what they're doing right now. They're getting the puck to the boards. They're creating some space in the zone. They're finding their offensive lanes, and they're picking and choosing their shots, Dan. They're either going for those rebounds or trying to find those deflections. On that time, they got the deflection.
That one tapped in front. If you're Ohio State, you cannot let up. Have to keep in it. Have to keep that head down to it. Nose to the grindstone. There's a quick shot stopped by Declan Rooney. I'll tell you, Miami of Ohio coming off an overtime game that didn't end till late last night, jumping out here early this morning, and these guys are in some good shape. I'm tired from yesterday. My voice hurts.
Yeah, we almost didn't make it, and we're just the broadcasters.
I mean, yeah, it was waking up this morning, I thought, how am I going to do this? These guys are out here, and they are going at full tilt right out of the gates. Little under 4 to go. Looking to leave this one off. He'll fire it off the boards right back to himself. Ohio State just trying to survive right now as Miami of Ohio really pushing ahead, showing why they're the #1 team in the TSCHL, trying to become defending champions here that repeat. You know, do it twice. We can't say the next one if they do it again because Pat Riley's got that.
Yeah, then I think we owe him a nickel.
Yeah, we'd have to pay him every time we say it. It's amazing that happened. Amazing story. He copyrighted the word, the number 3, and then the word Pete. This one jammed in front. That's poked away. Plinko passed up to the blue line. Reeling it around the boards. Nice little pass there. Jumping down to the corner. Going to throw the brakes on. Spin it to a dangerous location, but able to jump in at the nick of time there and get rid of it with Salt. Salt then gets hit knee to knee and goes splashing down. Ohio State 0 for 2 on the power play. Miami of Ohio 1 for 1. 2 goals scored thus far for Miami of Ohio. Torsten Lee with 1. A deflection score for Cove Herdick off the shot by Jack Lipovich, the other. There's a shot on the zone entry. Karasik with the save. Splashing down to the ice. Got just enough pad to it. A good look there for the Buckeyes.
And Dan, on a small side note here, there's nothing quite as terrifying as operating the camera and looking into the viewfinder and seeing the puck come straight at the viewfinder and block out the rest of the camera feed.
Yes.
I had already made peace, you know, with myself as a person. I was like, oh, here comes the puck. This is it.
This is where it goes. This is a shot. Quickly kick save and a beauty by Karasik yet again. Oh, it's Karasik's park. We're just living in it. Tipped back through. Herdick down to play in the corner. He'll throw this one in front. It's tapped on and wide. Sliding down to the ice. Looked like it was going to be a 3-0 lead for the Red Hawks. Good zone entry now. Fire wagon hockey. It's deflected with just enough paddle. That was a scary save right there for Karasik. It got kind of caught up. He got tangled in his own arms there. And this one's left aside. Going to be a break the other way now. Trying to get loose with it is Cronin. Cronin can't hold on to it. It's flipped right back to center. Defenseman getting a change here for Miami of Ohio. Ohio State right back at it. Trying to reel that one in. Could not. That was Gamikia there. Oh, what a start to this one. There's a shot low, paddled into the corner, reels it around the boards. Flip back in with a backhand. Onto that one, Segura. Segura will leave this one off, reel it around the boards, looking for his man. That's Questel. Questel trying to find his way out. It gets caught up in the skates. Hard hit by Questel there. Flip back through. Takes that Plinko look. Shot doesn't get enough on it. Buckeyes going to hold, settle, ring it around the boards. Ohio State's got to find a nice little settling force here, Lucas. They're going to need someone to come up and make a big play here.
Yeah, they're going to have to start relying on their big bodies. They have a little bit of a size advantage here. If Miami of Ohio is not going to give you space, you have an ability to create your own space. And I think that's where the future of this game is. They're already getting a good forecheck. They're dump and chase. They're winning the board battles. But they have to get that offensive presence in front of the net.
Remember, we're going to be announcing the all-first-team TSCHL after the second period. After this period, after a minute of play, final minute of play in the first period, we'll be announcing the all-second-team TSCHL. We announced the all-honorable mentions in the pregame show. We'll be announcing the all-second-team TSCHL coming up next on our intermission report. 2 minutes on the clock, a very costly penalty taken by Ohio State there. And now for the second time today, one of the most potent power play units in the country, the Miami of Ohio Redhawks. On the power play. Power play here. Lipovich goes down. Revenue going to just dive into the corner, trying to keep himself on top. It has to watch that hand, not cover it up. Gets back to it. Torsten Lee going to hand this one off to Philip Smith. Smith has Lee to his right. Instead, he's going to go left to Lipovich. Lipovich going to reel this one around the boards. Lee's going to get down to play it. Chance going to try to jam this one past him. Gets caught up in the skate of Lee. Lee can't have that much time in space. He takes the shot. It catches a stick. It heads out of play. Under 30 seconds to go here in the first period. Under 125 now, at 125 to go on the power play for the Redhawks.
And right now you got to be thinking about, the next period of play and what Ohio State is going to need to bring to the table in the second. Like we said, they're going to have to bring some physicality, but you have to manage the game a little bit better. And I think Miami of Ohio, that's where they're winning this game. They're managing the time on attack. They're managing the neutral zone. And it's really a bend-don't-break mentality in the defensive end.
Dangerous place here with the slap shot, blocking it on the way through, somehow getting in front of it. Losing his stick was Sam Gross. Oh, what a play by Gross to keep his team in it here. Do not want to let this lead get bigger before the break as the shot gets blocked on the way through. Under 10 seconds to go now. Trying to keep this one behind. Cleared by Ohio State. That will do it for the first period of play. The buzzer sounds. 2-0 Red Hawks lead. The Miami of Ohio Redhawks inching ever closer to a repeat performance. An incredible first period. A Torsten Lee goal starts it. Then a slap shot from Jack Lipovich is deflected home by Cove Herdick to make it a 2-0 lead. Miami of Ohio. It's been Karasik's world in net. A dominating start to this one, showing why they're that number one seed. On the other end of the ice, the Buckeyes head to the locker room right now, Lucas, and about to start this second period on a PK. This is a find yourself moment right here. A quiet start in that locker room. You have to regroup, resettle, and figure out who is going to be the man in this second period for the Buckeyes.
Yeah, it's a mental game right now for Ohio State, and this is a team that is mentally tough, physically tough. This is a never say die team, and they've proved it all year this year. They just have to get themselves fired up in that locker room, get themselves back up into the second period. I think it's almost worthwhile to treat this second period like a 0-0 hockey game. You cannot be mentally playing from behind here, Dan.
And this is a situation you have to know the numbers game if you are the Ohio State Buckeyes. You have to know that Miami of Ohio down a few skaters on their side, missing a defenseman today. You got to try to wear them down. You got to get pucks in. You got to get in the forecheck a little more. It's too much carrying offense, and obviously it's easier said than done, right? You see a situation as... Also, we got an interesting like on Instagram just right now, Lucas, by the way, as we turn it in here. I won't call anybody out on that one, but we got an interesting like on Instagram right now. Wow. All right. Well, happy you guys are watching along with us. But let's go turn this thing into the booth here, Lucas, because we're going to announce the all-second team, the second team all-conference for the TSCHL. What a year so far for the TSCHL. What a weekend of action they've put on. If you want to know more about playing in the TSCHL, go to tschockeyleague.com, and I will go to my left-hand man, my consigliere, mon frere from another mare, Lucas Jones, to slide on in Chris Collinsworth style once he's ready. Look at that slide. Look at that pink shirt. Look, we match today.
Yeah, we
pink
do actually.
And pink. Look at us.
Look at us figuring stuff out.
Look at us. Couple of beauties up here in the booth for y'all. You know what I mean? Just snacktastic as we go to second team all conference. Let's announce it. Let's make the announcement. Starting at the forward position, there'll be 3 forwards, 2 defensemen, 1 netminder. How about J.P. Shimko from The Ohio State University?
Shimko's been the guy. He's been the guy all tournament, all season long. JP has just been a phenomenal player, Dan.
And you've seen Torsten Lee come up here yesterday, come up again today. 4 goals on the weekend for Torsten Lee already in this tournament. J.P. Shimko's time to shine. When the breaks are beating the boys, it's a guy like J.P. that's going to have to come in and stand up tall.
Yeah, absolutely. And I expect he's going to be taking the lead in that locker room right now.
Next up from Bowling Green. Bowling Green has been bowling for award shows all season long, and it's Dom Costo. And Dom has not costoed his team much because he is a big-time scorer.
He has been dominant for sure, Dan. He has been making plays on the ice. He's shown up on the score sheet, off the score sheet. He's got a lot of the intangibles as well.
Next up, forward Vladislav Crouch from the Indiana University Hoosiers. An all-second-team nod for Vladislav.
What a good team Indiana has put together this year. This has been one heck of a run from this squad, and they're going to be a scary team this year, but even more so next year.
And Vladislav, we saw him yesterday. He doesn't need any space. They started doubling him at points in the game with the Buckeyes, and creates space, has good hands, and when they bring the bodies to him, he's able to move that puck to the other side and really test the netminder.
Yeah, he's kind of a one-man wrecking crew when he gets going.
Speaking of one-man wrecking crews, how about defenseman Jack Lipovich? Jack Lipovich is going to get the call from Miami of Ohio, second-team all-conference, and I'll tell you what, this guy might be one of the best defensemen in the country.
Yeah, and he's found a couple of points this weekend too, Dan. He's really found a way to settle into a role here. He's a two-way defenseman. He plays well on the offensive side, plays well on the defensive side, definitely earning this nod.
And don't give Jack any lip because he's a big-time defenseman. He'll hit you hard.
Absolutely. He's a very physical presence.
Next up, defenseman Bobby Edwards of Bowling Green. Bowling Green. What a year for the boys in the BGSU, baby. The Falcons are cawing their way this year, and it's Bobby's world as Edwards gets the nod at defense.
I'll tell you what, there is something in the water out there, Dan. I mean, they are producing all-team, second-team honorable mentions. These guys have been phenomenal, and he's just another example of the great program they've put out there.
Finally, goaltender Nevin Dyer from The Ohio State University. Nevin Dyer has been do-or-dyer for this squad. He's on the bench today backing up his netminder.
Yeah, I mean, he's done a great job this season, and coming into this one, we knew that their goaltending squad was really top-notch as well, and he's, again, you talk about examples of a program and what they can do. He's example number one.
We're example number one of two broadcasters who are having a good time right now. What a tournament, what a weekend. Thank you to the TSCHL and everyone watching at home. If you've not followed the Dan K Show, please do. It's at _Dan K Show on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You want us to come to your games during the regular season next year? Guess what? We can. Reach out to us at www.dankshow.com. If you're watching from another ACHA organization, league, or maybe from the commissioner's office, give us a call because I think we take your event to the next level. The best broadcast team in all of hockey. We'll be back with more after this at the TSCHL Conference Championship game. Miami of Ohio 2, Ohio State Buckeyes 0. Welcome back, hockey fans. We're going to get ready for an interview ice side with Lucas Jones and the head coach of Miami of Ohio. Team getting ready to take the ice, a 2-0 lead, 40 minutes away from a repeat championship victory. As Lucas gets set, I look down to him and I say to the guy with the nice pink shirt, Valentine's Day was a few days ago, but for now, he can't hear me. So I'll point to him. Lucas, take it away.
Down here a little early on the bench. You know, we normally try to get the in-game perspective. Coach, you're one-man wrecking crew out here. You're leading the boys right now after a good first period of play. Sort of talk us through what you saw that Ohio State was throwing your way.
Nothing special, really. We're just playing simple hockey right now, okay? That might be one of the best periods we've played all year. We're just moving our feet. Like I heard you and Nikki Corrali talking about, our transition game is nice and smooth right now. We're moving it side to side up, making simple plays. We're not doing anything special. We're just playing simple hockey right now.
Yeah, and you know, we sometimes joke about how simple it does sound, but you know, you guys make it look easy out there. You're in the championship game. You fought your way through the season. You fought your way through this tournament right now. Talk about the level of competition present in the TSCHL.
It's getting better and better every time we play a TSCHL game, okay? Whether it started with Dayton at the beginning of the year to now Ohio State here, it's just getting better and better, which we love the competition, okay? It makes us look better, it makes the league look better, it makes D2 hockey look better, so.
Now, right before the boys get out here on the bench, talk about this team. I mean, this team has made themselves quite a run. How have you been so successful, and what was the mood like in the locker room after that first period?
The boys are upbeat right now, which is good to see. We're a little short-handed this weekend, so I said it at the beginning of this game. It's the next man up mentality, and there's buying in. Okay, we've only got 9 forwards, 5D right now, but we're playing like we have 5 lines of forwards and 7D on the bench, so I'm loving it.
Oh, thanks a lot, Coach. Back up to you, Dan.
Great job down there by Lucas Jones, and the Red Hawks are ready to go. They have come out all weekend. The one thing I've noticed about them, they don't wait to get out to the ice, man. These guys are out early. They are ready to go. If they were playing Indiana yesterday, they would have been waiting all day long. The Buckeyes had a few times where they had to wait a few minutes to get the period started. This is a situation here where neither side wants to wait. Neither side wants to sit back. If you're the Buckeyes, though, you look at this Miami of Ohio side, this challenge, this title team, a team that's been there, they've raised that cup, and you see we've got 40 minutes to make a comeback. Who's going to be the guy? Who's going to step up? Who's going to take the reins? And who's going to pop the first one in the back of the net? The Ohio State University trails by 2 to Miami of Ohio. Red Hawks, Buckeyes, Dan K, Lucas Jones. The Dan K Show presents the TSCHL Conference Championship game. All weekend long, your games have been FREE. That's free. From us, courtesy of the Dan K Show, we've had a great time talking hockey, bringing you everything TSCHL all weekend long, and this is one of our favorite trips on the schedule every year. We're going to be doing our last stop. When we drive out of here to go to New Jersey, we always make one last stop at Mama's Barbecue. We are going to be making that Mama's Barbecue stop. I'm going to be getting myself some barbecue before I leave, getting back in the car, and then enjoying my ride home. We're going to have a nice 10-hour trek back to Jersey, but we are so happy to be here with all of y'all out in Louisville. The home of fast horses, strong distilled spirits, and even more hockey spirit this weekend. It is the TSCHL Conference Championship game. And it is hockey time yet again. Second period about to get underway. Revenue on the face-off for the Buckeyes. Buckeyes still on the penalty kill. A minute on the power play for Miami, Ohio out of the break. Remember a penalty taken late in that period. The Buckeyes have had trouble staying out of the box all weekend. This potent offensive attack, this potent power play unit, always dangerous, have to stay out of the box the rest of the way, will have to be disciplined. And I see Lucas down there ice side standing right next to my speakers.
Yeah, Dan, we actually have a little bit of a fun fact. Noah Klinsky, 1 point away from breaking the all-time school record for points. So we are on Noah Klinsky watch here today.
Noah Klinsky watch it is. This one jammed back through. Bouncing puck at the blue line. That's poked away. Racing down after it is going to be Jack Lipovich. He'll retreat. Throws this one off the boards. Losing an edge there, and you can hear the chirp from the bench of the Redhawks. Yeah, you never want to lose an edge. The ice is slippery, you'll hear at times from the skaters, as this one's flipped on through. Revenue trying to get back to it. Klinsky will win the race. Still on a power play here. Redhawks trying to add to this lead. This shot into the body there. Stoned by Rooney. As Lucas makes his faithful trek down to the Ohio State side of things, he'll have an in-game interview with the coaching staff of the Buckeyes, talk a little bit about what they're seeing and what they need to do to climb back into this one. Hunter Wallace will take this face-off on for Miami of Ohio and get the win. Kick back up top. Power play not done yet. There's a shot. It's deflected just wide into the corner. Trying to get there is Wallace. He'll battle for it. Spun back around. Out they come. Tapped along through center. Nifty little move to jam that one. Still caught up in the stick. Still caught up in the skates. That'll do it for the power play. Back to even strength. Ohio State happy to survive that power play chance. Now they have to get to work. Have to wear this Miami of Ohio team down. This is a team that's just so skilled. The only way to really beat them is to tire them out. Yesterday, Xavier just played a relentless fashion of hockey and would not give in, would not give up. And it pushed Miami of Ohio to their limits, but they were still able to get the victory. This one's tapped away. Going to create a breakaway chance. 1-on-none with the shot. It's shrugged aside. A big-time swatting save by Rooney. Gets the blocker to it. Underneath this now, this will be reeled around the boards. Kicked on through. Back down to the corner, handed off for Gross. Gross is going to kick this one along through center. That one's jammed back in, stolen right back away by the Redhawks. Hands this one back in behind. Flipped on ahead now, all the way down. Whistle blows for the icing, and a stoppage here. Lucas slowly matriculating up that bench. I can see his head there. We nicknamed him the Little Sipster this weekend because he was sipping still, or what was it? The little snack, little nibbler. He was still nibbling on his barbecue lunch, and he was asked by the waitress, "Are you still nibbling on that?" And we were all done eating already. So the little nibbler will be ice side now, and let's see, here he is waving at me. Take it away.
Thanks, Dan. Now down here on the bench with Ohio State, Coach, this is obviously the the end game here for this tournament. You've fought long and hard all the way up to this game. Talk about the mood in the locker room. What'd you talk to the boys about after the first period?
To be better. Yeah, just to work harder. We got to get our feet moving and just be better at everything that we're doing.
And we've talked about your program throughout this tournament at length, and one of the strengths is that be better mentality. So, what do you guys do differently to climb your way back into this one?
Yeah, just hope for a little bit of puck luck to go our way here. Make sure that we get our feet moving, limit the turnovers, just the easy things, make the game easy for ourselves.
And now, lastly, Coach, just talk about playing in the TSCHL, and again, why a prospective player might want to come here.
Yeah, I think we are one of the better one of the better leagues in the country, and I think we have a lot of talent. I think we're pretty deep. All of our teams are really good, and even the teams that were on the bottom, in years past, like a team like Xavier, they battled their butts off against Miami last night, and so I think that just shows you that we're getting better as a league, and people want to come and play for teams like us.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Back to you, Dan.
Great job down there by Lucas. I'm so happy we don't have an earbud for him this weekend. I have been able to have some fun at his expense. He will not be happy when he plays this broadcast back. Wide side for Chance. There's a shot as he wore a hit on that one. During the interview, there's another good chance. That one's deflected into the body of Karasik, and he stops it again. If it moves and if it's rubber, he's going to jump in front of it. He's going to stop it. Doesn't matter. He saves everything. Karasik is unreal right now. He has been huge all weekend for this Miami of Ohio side. In overtime, he had to make an incredible stop to keep his team alive. Trying to do it again here. That one catches a skate on the way through. Jumping down into it. Tangled along. Backhand play. It's going to be paddled into the corner. Jumping down is Revenue. Revenue looks to go back up the blue line here. That one squirts out to a dangerous location. On On with this one go the Red Hawks. Holding wide side, that's Tilton. He'll just jam it on in, go for an obedient line change. Tilton will actually stay out there. Smart play by Tilton. He saw the players skating out there leaking for Ohio State. He'll jump this one right back in. It was Jack Henry Muha who started to kind of sneak his way out of the zone, and Tilton, rather than getting the change there, skated right back out to go play the puck as this one squirts its way in for a backing up shot, wristed high and wide, glove side. A good look there. Gross on this one. He'll jam it in. Handled by Karasik. Karasik gives this one ahead. Jammed back up the boards. Flipped back through. Caught up in a skate. Trying to win a race to it. He will not. That was Rupi who tried to get there. On across that blue line. Skates it on in front. Shot blocker side. Had him beat. Couldn't hit the net. Gross there. Gross will flip it, chase down after it. Ohio State has to get down on this forecheck here. So what we were talking about before the break. You play a team down a few bodies. You got to get on the forecheck. You got to tire them out. You got to really physical up. That's what they'll try to do here the rest of the way. Bouncing puck is settled down. Ebersol going to win the race to that one. Hunter Wallace almost hunted that one down. Icing the whistle, icing the call. A little over 15 minutes to go here in this second period of play. The defending champion Red Hawks lead 2-0. Watching along with the Dan K Show here. Remember to follow us at _Dan K Show. I'll tell you what, whoever wins this title, you're going to see some cool pictures with the trophy after this one's all said and done as this one's kicked back up. Handed off at the blue line. Wristed by Segura. The glove save is made by Karasik. He'll hold on to it. Take the whistle, take the break. Almost another lost edge. We've seen a lot of officials going down this weekend. More zebras going down than in the African jungle here with lions skating around. A lot of zebra falls this weekend. Tell you, we also got a free coffee up here in the booth. The little nibbler makes his way back up into the broadcast booth.
Courtesy of the...
Oh, and he almost fell. Take your time.
Coffee courtesy of the Miami of Ohio fans.
Coffee courtesy of the Miami of Ohio fans. I will not play favorites, but I will tell you it is delicious. That one skates on out in front. Flipped on through. Buckeyes fans, feel free to buy our allegiances as well. We accept cash donations. Hand it on back. Tip back into the corner. They'll have it there. Thought about flipping it up off the glass. He'll play it forward. Ebersol gets down to a knee, kicks it along. Keeps this one alive. That's poked away. Back out to the blue. Good play there by the Red Hawks. Jammed down out of the air by Ebersol. Stick around at the end of this one. You'll see Dan K down at ice level. Not just the star of the game, but we're going to be giving out that big trophy. There's a trip against Ohio State, and that's just one that you can't take right there. Drew Bishop draws it. Yet again, Drew Bishop, this guy's playing chess. Everyone else playing checkers. Bishop is a galloping horse out here in the land of horses. Guy's an absolute thoroughbred on the ice defensively, and he's been so important for this side. Over 15 to go. Plinkoed around. Back on through, trying to jam this one loose as Chance. It'll make its way to the corner. Klinsky couldn't reach it, try to keep it alive. Yet again, the Red Hawks on the power play. Just been a few penalties in this game taken by Ohio State, Lucas, that Coach is shaking his head at.
Yeah, it's got to be frustrating, especially when you're trying to build some momentum. Having to constantly be on the penalty kill is certainly not the way to do that.
Unable to get enough on that for the clearance. It's going to be a dangerous spot for Lipovich, who does not miss from there unless it's blocked. It was. Getting his body in the way of it was Jack Lineberry. This one will be cleared back down. It's the long change period. Always a time in the game you want to stay out of the box. Tougher to get bodies off the ice. Ohio State will get 3 new forwards on. The defenseman couldn't lead. Back up top. Thinking about this shot, he'll kick it wide. Drag pass by Bishop. Couldn't get the deflection. Torsten Lee tried to get to it. Wallace back up top. Lee moving to a dangerous spot at the top of the circle. He tries to jam it down into Hunter Wallace. It's blocked by Chance. Out to the blue line again. Thought about a shot. He'll kick it wide side for the one-timer. That was Bishop with the shot. It's blocked. Wallace taps it in front. A diving block. Shot in front. Finds Bishop again. No. The diving play by Chance. Chance blocks another one. Oh, Nick Chance must just be a giant bruise at this point. Diving diving block shot in the chest, takes one off the leg, another one off the shoulder.
What a job in the defensive end. I mean, those are the kinds of plays that keep your team in this game, Dan, and you're going to have to need a lot more of them if you want to swing the momentum. You're still seeing Miami of Ohio with offensive control.
Tipped back in behind. Holding there, trying to reel it out. Stick goes flying all the way back down. This puck slides. Settling it down is Karasik. Karasik going to hand it off behind his net. 20 seconds to go here on the power play for Miami of Ohio. There's plenty of time for this offense, man. Plenty of time. Right on in. Schmidt tries to carry. That's cleared all the way back down. They'll have to restart one more time. Karasik will settle with the paddle. Good PK the last 2 times out for Ohio State.
Yeah, no, there really has been, and it's one of those things that coach after coach will tell you is, I'm happy we have a good penalty kill. I wish we didn't need a good penalty kill, but we're certainly happy to have it.
Here's a breakaway chance now, trying to go through the legs is Gross. He'll take it down to the corner boards. Battling along here, trying to get this one loose. It sticks itself back up. Miami of Ohio out on the break. If they get out fast enough, they can have some numbers here. They'll throw the brakes on, take a shot, a block there. Getting in the way of that one was Clark. Back in behind, stolen away, flipped off the boards, trying to find his way out towards the blue line. Another hard hit, high and hard by Schmidt. Oh, this guy's the best Schmidt since New Girl. Right? The show on Fox?
Oh, boy.
This one goes wide side. Some of them are B-sides, right? Not every band, not everything can be a hit, Lucas. All right, I'm not the Beatles.
That's a rough one. Where did you pull that reference out?
I don't know. It's early for me.
Are you a big New Girl fan?
I actually am. No,
yeah?
Not a bad show. Why not?
Never got into it.
Winston Bishop, Schmidt, Nick Miller.
I see, are these characters or the actors?
I'm trying to name all the characters.
Oh, okay.
These are not the actors.
I don't know.
What are you doing?
Not watching New Girl, apparently.
New Girl on Fox. We're not sponsored by it, folks. I think it's probably on Hulu now, though. This one wide side. Held up at center. That's going to be tapped on in. Racing down after this one's going to be Segura. Segura going to reel it around. That one's tipped up off the glass. No one can find it. Now Clark does. Clark tried to find his man on the outlet. Beautiful play here. Flashing through to get that one loose by Shimko. He'll fire it on net. Karasik does a nice job to keep it alive. Fired off the boards. Torsten Lee with an incredible pass right there. Tape to find Klinsky. Klinsky goes wide side with it. Thought about jamming it on in front. He'll throw it up top to the blue line. 1 point away from the school record, you said, Lucas? The program record. This one jammed in front, the shot, score! Klinsky with the assist! The record breaker right there! Dan K. say, Klinsky score! Oh, Klinsky dumps that one in front, jammed home by Philip Smith. Your record holder, ladies and gentlemen. How about that, Noah Klinsky, the all-time program leader in points? He's not just good, he's stellar. En français, he's say incroyable.
What a great job by Klinsky. I mean, what a way to cap off a tournament, too, with that last point putting you over the edge.
Oh, what a career for Noah Klinsky. As the shot's low, they have to make the stop here. Rooney does.
Yeah, now you're in a bit of a do-or-die mode for Ohio State right here, Dan. You know, a 3-goal lead is certainly not an insurmountable deficit, but if you allow another one to go in, you start putting yourself really behind the 8 ball here. We've seen our fair share of comebacks, you know, throughout junior and college hockey, but that 4-goal lead is a pretty sizable one to have to get past. So Ohio State really needs to turn on the Jets here.
Up top, taking the shot that's blocked. 3-0 Miami of Ohio lead. Torsten Lee, Cove Herdick, and an assist, a record-breaking assist for Noah Klinsky, finds Philip Smith for the jam home score. What a job by Noah Klinsky in this career, man. Oh, you got to be so proud of right now. If you're Noah's family, you're watching this thing. Noah Klinsky, man, you could not have had a better career. You could not have done more here with Miami of Ohio, and it ain't done yet, folks. It ain't done yet. This one shot through bodies, patted aside, another stop there. Reeled back into the corner. Ohio State will flip this one ahead. That's going to be racing down for it. Keeping it wide side, stolen away. Quinn Cronin on it. Cronin flips this one around through the legs, tapped wide side through center. Right on in, good zone entry time. Up a hard hit there. That one's going to smart. Joey Jenkins got the worst of it. Back out the other way. The Plinko pass doesn't work on the outlet. Buckeyes have to find a way to settle this thing back down. The Redhawks are really pushing them right now, pushing them to the absolute brink. Reeled around the boards. Has to get to this one quickly. That's going to be tipped back out, only as far as the blue line, thrown on net. Glove save made there. Gets the whistle, gets the stoppage. We're under the 10-minute mark, and you know what that means, folks. It means we remind you, you want to know more about the TSCHL? Go to TSCHockeyLeague.com. You can also follow them at TSC Hockey League, at TSC Hockey League on Twitter. Follow the league, follow up on all the updates, and pay attention to what's going on next. We also remind you that this tournament's presented by the Dan K Show. The Dan K Show, the most watched show in junior hockey. You can watch it every Thursday, YouTube.com. That's the Dan K Show, the biggest beauties in the world. I don't think that was part of our tagline, Lucas. I think it's made that one up. But it's ours, so if I'm going to mess up a read, mess up mine, right?
Well, I mean, all taglines are really just made up.
We remind you the second team all-conference that was announced during the first intermission. Forward J.P. Shimko from The Ohio State University. Forward Dom Costo from Bowling Green. Forward Vladislav Crouch from Indiana University. There's a shot that goes wide. It goes up on the back of the netting, gets tangled up there. They're going to have to blow the whistle. They will. Defenseman Jack Lipovich from Miami of Ohio. Defenseman Bobby Edwards from Bowling Green. And goaltender Nevin Dyer from The Ohio State University. That's your second team all-conference. Our first team all-conference will be announced at the end of this period. We will then have an interview with Commissioner Tim Driscoll of the TSCHL to talk all things TSCHL, the future of the league, the new edition of the University of Kentucky coming up next year. We can't wait for it all. This one jammed along. It's going to go down to the corner. He'll flip this one up. Good body in front. Couldn't keep it. Hunter Wallace will jam it right back through. On behind there, that's going to be Daniel McGeever. McGeever looks back up to the blue line. Thought about a shot. He'll take that one. It's blocked. And the Buckeyes get out on the races. That'll be Segura with it. He kicks it forward, but not far enough. 9 minutes to go here in the second. 3-goal deficit here, Lucas, against the toughest team in the league, one of the toughest, if not the toughest teams to play in the country. How do you got to be feeling right now on that Buckeye bench?
Well, you know, I think you got to be feeling a little disappointed with your performance so far. But, you know, it's like Coach said, at this point, you have to aim to be better. You have to try to be the best version of yourself you can be out there. And you can't play desperate. You know, we've seen desperate teams make mistakes. And right now, you can't play desperate. You have to play confidently.
I'll tell you what, the hazelnut accents this coffee in such a way. As that one's thrown up, this is a delicious coffee.
Oh, huge fan of the French vanilla.
Huge fan of the hazelnut right now. This one down in the corner. We usually do our coffee reviews at the rinks, Lucas. We have to review this coffee again. Here's a hard hit at center ice high. That's going to get the hand up. Delayed call coming against Miami of Ohio. Can Ohio State capitalize here? They'd get the goal in the puck if they can, but the whistle will blow. It's touched up. A big-time penalty coming up for the Buckeyes. Down 3 goals. The only way to come back is one at a time. This is where you got to make the move.
Yeah, I mean, this has got to be the start, right? This has got to be where you get things moving, you know, because at this point you have to take advantage of everything. Every single opportunity, whether it's a power play, whether it's an intercepted pass in the neutral zone, whether it's something as small as getting a guy out by the blue line, everything has got to be taken advantage of to the fullest if you're going to come back.
One back up to the blue, hands off. Ohio State is on the power play. Here it's a shot high score. It's a power play. Charlie, don't call me Chuck. Klinsky clanks the back of the net. 4 down. Then you sell it.
Well, Ohio State needed an angel, and they got Charlie. Charlie absolutely bringing his team back from the depths of this 3-0 deficit. This is a player who's been biding his time a little bit here, Dan. He's been making some plays. He's been doing well along the boards, and he's been trying to find the right space to make a difference. He got himself low on the goaltender, settled down the pass properly, and fired that thing high.
Oh, Chuck roasts him on that one with the top shelf score. Top shelf, homie. Charlie Klinsky with the big-time look right there. This one played out of the air with the high stick. One call called him safe on it. The other call said it wasn't. You can see Ohio State frustrated with the indecision on the whistle. They're going to talk this one through, just kind of asking what you see. That was Gross who played it. He played it right on the edge there of a high stick or not. You could go either way. One side gave the whistle, the other side gave the safe sign. That's where the indecision came, Lucas.
Well, and it's a great job by the referees here to kind of talk that one out, too. That goes a huge way with these players.
This one goes down behind, kicked on through, settling it is Salt. Salt will use those boards. That's your best friend on the way out of the zone. It's Shimko. JP Shimko going to wear a big hit from Noah Klinsky. Hands this one off now the other side on to Clark. Clark is taken down to the ice. Trying to jump into the play is Salt. A little more energy coming from the Buckeyes side after that first score. That tends to open up the netting for you. On behind, nifty little move off the board. Skates it out in front, takes the shot. It's blockered, skates behind him. Jammed on just wide. Oh, it almost found its way home. Held here, turned over, takes the shot, he rings the glass. Diving on top of it is Karasik.
Well, Dan, you talk about the ebbs and flows of the game of hockey. That's not an ebb and flow. That's a whole tidal shift right now that's happening. Ohio State has woken up in a big way after that goal. They're firing on all cylinders right now.
Oh, we're firing on all cylinders right now, Lucas. Dan K on your play-by-play, Lucas Jones on your ones and twos. Winning this one forward, thought about passing it on out. That'll get deflected through. Hard hit there. Tipped back in behind. Philip Smith trying to get involved. That'll be stolen away from him by Jordan Hoy. Hoy finds his man. It's thrown in front. He couldn't connect, but finds his defenseman there. It's Chance who takes the shot. It's blocked wide. Chance asking for it back. Won't get it. Odd angle shot. Reels around the boards. Jammed right back through it. Takes a deflection. It's stopped by Karasik in his padding. And the groans, the sighs, and the whoo comes from the Miami of Ohio fan base there, as that was a flurry in Ohio State. Bucks are buzzing.
Yes, they are, Dan, and that goes to show you how important good defensemen are. Good defensemen who stay at home and play the puck. That offensive opportunity was created by defensemen who stayed high in the zone and kept that thing in. That was almost a patented Miami of Ohio play right there. Hunter Wallace snuck himself out of the zone. The reason why it's so hard to beat a team like Miami of Ohio State's dominated the last 2 minutes. They get a goal out of that 2-minute domination. But then Hunter Wallace almost just snuck himself loose after all of that the first time they controlled the puck and got a one-on-none breakaway. And that's what they do. They just take the air out of the building with their ability to skate. This one's pitchforked ahead all the way back down. It's going to find its way in the net. A very good clearance there, taken by Charlie Klinkar. Klinkar with the lone goal today for the Buckeyes, a power play goal that cut the lead to 2. That one's turned over at center in a bad spot. It's going to be taken through. What a move by Torsten Lee. Tries to continue moving forward. He could not. Right around the back of the net they go. Out top with this one. Going to skate on through center with it is Simarusti. Simarusti gets simmered down now and kicked down to the corner. Holding with it, it'll be flipped back in, a little backhand paddle. Tipped on ahead for Lee. Lee hands off towards center. Gross gonna find it. Gross hands back off for Chance. Chance looking for a place to force this one. Instead, it'll just force into the zone, have it stolen away. Revenue with the high pressure. Can't get the revenue on that one. No payday for him. As it's taken wide side shot and somehow catching that one. Never saw it coming was Declan Rooney. That's a sigh of relief right there. Sometimes that'll catch a glove in a wrong spot and bounce its way behind you. Yeah, I mean, we've certainly seen our fair share of bouncing pucks this season and certainly in this tournament here, Dan. And now you're seeing Miami of Ohio trying to regain their former dominance. They're going to want to win this faceoff and keep that thing in the zone for as long as possible. Remember, this Miami of Ohio team had a 2-goal lead yesterday against Xavier in the second period and were unable to hold on to it. Xavier came back and scored 2 unanswered to send this thing to overtime. Today, Ohio State will need to go a little further than that. They'll need 3 to do that. That one's jammed on in. Under 5 to go. It finds itself loose in front. It's jammed on net. Didn't go. 2 different hands went up thinking it was scored. It hit Karasik and went wide. Karasik frustrated with the official, thinking he got run through. Tipped away. That was a dangerous puck right there. Miami of Ohio, a little bit shaky here in the last few minutes. Trying to get down there, Ohio State, to get the icing waved off. They will. Great hustle play. That was Brian Brown who won the race to that one. Huge hustle play by Brown.
What can Brown do for you? He can get an icing waved off as this one shot low, paddled aside, bouncing off the corner boards. Reeling it around. A lot of space for Madsen. He'll try to make it Mad World here. Throws it on around. Couldn't find the center look. Hard hit into the boards. Looked like the numbers might have been shown. Another hard hit behind the play. That one's certainly clean. Nice big hit there. Shot high, rebound, try goes wide. Schmidt put himself in front and almost cracked open the game there, back to a 3-goal lead. Back along, carnage everywhere. Gross bumps into his own man. No one can find the puck. It's still loose. Trying to hold this thing along the boards is Rupee. Dennis can't get there. Trying to be a menace. Trying to get that stick loose. Still stuck along the skates. Still getting that call here. Still trying to keep it alive. That one's jammed back up to the blue line. A lot of room to shoot for Madsen. Takes the shot, got blocked. Getting his body in front of that one was Brown. Bounces up and out of play. Finally a whistle and a breather for your broadcaster.
Oh, what a flurry on both sides of the ice there. Woo. There was some physicality. I feel like it went from 1 to 110 like that, Dan. You getting guys knocked into the boards, big open ice hits, big hits behind the puck as well. I think both teams are starting to hit their stride.
Tell you what, you have a shift like that if you're Ohio State, and now you see Torsten Lee come over the boards. Oh boy. Back up top, the shot into the body, saved by Declan Rooney, and Ohio State will go get that quick change.
Yeah, it's like after a shift like that, when Torsten Lee comes out, it feels like he's like he's the cooler.
Oh,
he hops over the boards and everyone goes up. Bouncers here.
We're in trouble. Torsten Lee, your co-MVP of the TSCHL, a star of the game yesterday, an MVP award yesterday, a game-winning goal yesterday. I mean, I'm sure maybe he just found loose money somewhere. It seemed to be a pretty lucky day to be Torsten Lee. He's the most interesting man in America, Torsten Lee, right now. As this one's thrown in front, stolen away. Reeled around the boards, trying to find a way out, they will. Having to retreat back to center with this one is Segura. A lot of time left for Ohio State. Just have to find that second one. One goal at a time. That one was a dangerous one for the linesman. He'll get out of the way as it's kicked back around. Reaching out for it. Nifty little play to keep it alive. Another nifty move there, wide side. Back in front, the shot wide. Rebound, try, score! The Bucks are back, baby! Buckeyes score again! The Ohio State University cuts the lead to 1, and the goal scorer is the Jacob Clark.
Clark coming up huge on that one, and just like that, Dan, you know, you want to talk cliches that are true. The cliche is that the first goal is the hardest one to get, but it is true because of how easily the goals seem to flow after that first one goes home. In Ohio State right now, after spending the entire first period of play seemingly on their back skate, have now found themselves skating downhill in a powerful way.
It is deja vu all over again for Miami of Ohio right now. 2 unanswered goals in the second period. Yesterday, Xavier did it. Today, it's Ohio State. The difference, a little more pressure for Miami of Ohio as they have 3 on them. Ohio State will need 1 more to tie it up. 22 minutes remain in the game, 2 minutes in the period. So much time to go, so much fun for you. Stolen away from the odd angle, the shot, it's the side of the net, bouncing up into the air, taken down with a glove kick to the corner. Ohio State battling for it, trying to find that puck loose. Handed off by Klinsky, has a man in front. He'll give it to him. He couldn't find him. It got blocked it away. Miami of Ohio out on the break the other way now. Handling this one. Waiting wide side with a shot kick. Save and a beauty. Huge save by Declan Rooney with a pad. Klinsky out on the other direction now. Fire wagon hockey. Wholesale changes. Bodies everywhere. Nifty move by Klinsky. He's bodied off of it by who else but Hunter. Mr. Bishop there, Drew Bishop. Oh, Drew Bishop. Another big play for him. That was Klinsky on the break. It is not often you see him stopped.
No, it takes a big body and it takes a concerted effort to stop that skater from moving around. What a second period we've had, Dan. This game has absolutely opened up in both directions. Both teams now just going for broke basically on the offensive end. Defense, a mere shadow of a memory right now.
Quick wrister goes wide. That was Nick's chance. Oh, he gets those low ones through the bodies off the face-off. It goes most of the time. It just went wide on him. This one up to the top. Takes a quick shot. Deflected through. Bodies everywhere. Towards the lead with a wraparound. Stoned by Declan Rooney. He flashes the pad from post to post. Torsten Lee went wraparound try. Rooney said, "No, you shall not pass." Back on through, it's bodied and blocked on the way. Hard hit into the boards. Racing racing down after into the corner. Slap shot, one-timer rings the glass. Up top for Lipovic. He'll reel it around the boards. No one will find it. It'll make its way back up to the blue line. Thrown in front with a tap on one-timer. It's going to create a break the other way. With this one, it's going to be Gold. Will Gold be solid gold on this one? Takes the shot into the body of Karasik. Stoned.
Oh, both teams are moving at a high rate of play right now, Dan. They are going to be looking forward to this little intermission here. But why not leave it all out there on the ice in the second period?
I'm going to pass out.
Oh, boy, what a show these two squads are putting on right now.
Final minute of play in the second period, 3-2. Buckeyes trail the Redhawks. Face off one back up top. Slap shot falling to his face right there was Ebersol. I'll tell you what, you know you got enough on it when your whole body goes forward. Under 50 seconds to go now. This one jammed back through. Redhawks have some chance here. There's a shot. It's saved by Rooney. Took an odd bounce off the paddle and went wide. Back up top. Shot low. Padded aside. Easy save for Rooney there. Made a couple hard ones. This one into the body of Clark. He'll use the skates there to kick this one ahead. Ohio State trying to get back out after it. Buckeyes will go wide side. Thought about going through the legs. There's a wrister low kick saved by Karasik. Back up to the blue line. Held in. Reaching out after it. Jammed out the center. Gross will retreat. Under 10 seconds to go. Jam back in. Karasik will settle it. Ohio State will put one last bit of pressure on. Buzzer about the sound. Is this one stolen away? One last chance. A diving shot. It's stopped by Karasik. Still loose in front. Bodies everywhere. Carnage in front. No goal scored. Buzzer sounds. 3-2 your score after 40 minutes of hockey. We have had one of the best games of the year, and we get ready now to announce the first team all-conference in the TSCHL. First team all-conference. Lucas is going to go make his trip down to the down the steps here to go get Tim Driscoll, the commissioner of the TSCHL. Dan Kay is going to turn this camera in and get himself set up for a nice little interview setup. Look at this guy. I do it all, folks. We do it all up here. Lucas Jones, Dan Kay. And what we're going to have for you guys, I got to move the mic up. Look at this guy. What we're going to have for you guys here is your first team all-conference. Lucas Jones heading down to get Commissioner Driscoll for a big-time interview with Dan Kay. We're going to talk all things TSCHL. But first team all-conference. Let's make the announcement. Starting with the forward position, I think this is the easiest choice. Lucas, would you like to clean this camera angle up a little bit?
Yeah, I
think I'm a bad cameraman. I think that there's not a future in it for me. But let's talk a little bit here about the first team all-conference. You know what? Let's bring the commission for this because I think you've seen these guys play a good amount. So when I make this announcement, I think who better to have talk about him real quick before our interview than Commissioner Tim Driscoll. And first of all, thanks for joining me.
Oh, I'm glad to be here. Thanks.
This has been a fun day so far.
What a period that was, boy.
First choice. Easy choice. Torsten Lee, not just a co-MVP, a former Rookie of the Year, and a guy who just torches folks on the ice. He's so fast, so good from Miami of Ohio.
Yep, definitely the right kid. I mean, You saw him last year. He didn't get worse. He got better. That's hard to believe. So he's not only that, by the way, Dan, he's a great kid.
Yep.
Really great kid.
It's a role that Yanni Sukas is going to leave open, right, as the top guy in this TSCHL, and he is now that guy. He's taking those reins.
Indeed.
Moving on, we have... How about this guy? He's won every award at this point. Ryan Hill, who's been mountain-sized for Bowling Green.
He's turned the program around.
Yep.
And he and the coach, of course, Jake's done a great job, and Dom, but Ryan has a lot to do with why they're as good as they are and how quickly they got good.
And you talk about good, we just mentioned him. His final game played on his home ice here. I got a chance to congratulate him on an incredible career. Yanni Sukas from Louisville University.
Arguably an all-timer in the history of the conference, honestly.
Yep.
Really just a special kind of player.
I'll tell you, we brought up Yanni Sukas' name around the country, and he's known everywhere. He's that good. He's that good. And everyone usually goes, Yanni Sukas.
Right,
they don't want to deal with
him. A lot of people are glad he's graduating. Yeah.
Next up, we go to the defensive position, and it's Colin Fitzgerald from the Hoosiers, Indiana University.
Well, they start with defense, and he's one of the best. So no coincidence, and great selection in him as well.
No luck of the Irish needed for Fitzgerald there, man. He gets it done. Easy easy pick here from Ohio University, the next defenseman, Brendan Kalura. And this is a guy we got a chance to watch in game 1 of this weekend against Xavier. He does so much for him. He plays both ends in the defensive position, and you just trust him when he's on the ice.
I said to someone the other day, I said, he's an all-star defenseman, but honestly, he could, if you made him a forward, he'd be an all-star forward. He's just that good of a player. Just great instincts, high IQ guy, really quality player.
Absolute beauty right there. We move here to the netminder position, and the final choice, I mean, we brought this guy up a million times, and this guy was carrying his Xavier squad this weekend, Sage Zahner, Xavier University.
He's just a class of the league, and amongst, by the way, a group of really, you're seeing it here tonight, right?
Yeah, of course.
Amongst a group of really quality tenders. I recruited Sage years ago, and I didn't know he was this good. That's kind of the running discussion around Xavier. Nobody knew he was this good, but he is that good.
And it's got to be great to have a guy in net where it just happens for him, right? It's just the right time, the right place, in the right program, and that's what Xavier seems to be for Sage.
Indeed. And he's a real academics is a huge part of it, and that's what the combination of his studies and his hockey thing, it just all came together for him at Xavier. It worked great for him.
Now let's talk about it all coming together for the TSCHL.
Yeah.
Obviously, in your position, you get to see all of it. You get to see all walks of this league. The jump from last year to this year is incredible. You hear it from every coach that we've talked to throughout this tournament. The league just keeps getting better every year. What do you attribute that success to?
Well, I didn't anticipate it to be quite this much parity this year. I didn't necessarily see that coming. I saw the boats rising, but I didn't know they were going to rise so fast. And then, of course, we added Indiana, who was not in the conference last year, and we knew it was a good ad. Turned out to be a great ad. And then great coaching. It's a big part of it. Great leadership, not just XO coaching, but great leadership. Top to bottom, doesn't matter who you're talking about there. So you put those things together, and the program or the conference just continues to be on the rise.
Adding a new team next year, and a team near and dear to our hearts, because that's where we got started in the ACHA game, was with the Pergram family up there and the University of Kentucky Wildcats. You're going to be the only place where UK and Louisville meet up in conference play in that rivalry matchup. How's that going to be?
Graham from Louisville and I, that's all we talk about is how good is that for the conference. That's just such a great rivalry as it is. It's one of those, hey, it doesn't matter what the records are kind of, but now it really starts to matter in brings a whole different level and dimension of competitiveness to the conference. And what Tim's done at UK in a few short years, they've always been good, but he has them back on the map, so to speak, and they're just going to fit in like an old shoe here in our conference, I think. And don't be surprised if they make noise in the upper end of the bracket.
Oh, I'll tell you what, we got a chance to see them in those midnight games out there at UK. We did one of those. It was past my bedtime, but that place was packed. They were packed after a homecoming football game. They packed in 1,500 into that place.
It's an amazing, at club level, sometimes you get 50 people at a game. So that's another really nice dimension for the conference, that the kids get to play in front of a huge raucous crowd. And yes, it's late at night and all those types of things, and you moan and groan until the puck drops, and all of a sudden you realize this wave of adrenaline overcomes you. And whether you're the home team, of course, UK, or you're the visiting team, it's just a fantastic experience.
Now, I got to ask you, we've already said it enough. We've talked about it enough. You got a player watching at home. We have a lot of junior hockey players that watch with us who are looking for that next step in their career. And I always tell guys, you don't understand the opportunities you're missing in a place like the TSCHL with programs like this, to play in front of fans, to play in a tournament of this nature, to play at a high level and get a big D1 school experience while you're getting playing time all 4 years. Why would you say a player should play for an organization at TSCHL?
I have to echo what you just said. If you go back to the beginning of our conversation, it's not just club hockey, or it's not just D2 club hockey. This is high caliber D2 club hockey. We'll send teams off to regionals. We'll send teams off to regionals here. This conference very well may crown a national championship out of it, let alone, obviously success we'll have in regionals. So you couple that with the kid that maybe doesn't have the skill to be an NCAA D1 hockey player, but wants the high competitiveness. And then add to that, it's time to get your degree. It's time to go study. It's time to prepare for life after hockey, but you want to still play at a high level. Our conference brings that. You're going to play in 20-plus games of really, really competitive hockey. You're going to have a chance to go to the regional tournaments. You're going to have a chance to go to the national tournaments. You'll have a chance to make an all-star team that will afford opportunities maybe to travel to Europe. because we've sent those kids before right out of this conference. Many kids have made that trip. So, and after your 4 or 5 year experience, you get your degree and you're ready for life.
I love it. What should we expect going forward from the TSCHL? Do you have any updates, anything new out there for this squad? What should we be looking forward to in the future from the TSCHL?
Well, we talked about one, UK, right? But we're missing one. With one more leg to this 10-legged stool, if you will.
Okay.
We need another team. You know, we'd like to get one more team added to the conference. 10 teams we'll go back to divisional type of a play. It'll afford all the teams in the conference a little more freedom to schedule outside of conference, and so we're looking to do that. But just in general, I don't think the hockey's getting worse.
No, not at all.
We talked a little bit about Xavier this weekend, for instance. They didn't graduate anybody this year. And that's not uncommon at a lot of the schools where only 1 or 2 or 3 kids are leaving. So the talent in the league is going to get better. The talent in the league is going to get deeper. The competitiveness overall will get better. And if UK joining will help, and we just need, we're looking for one more out there. So maybe this is a little bit of my recruiting book, right?
If you're out there, you're looking for a place to play, and you're an organization, your program, I'll tell you, there's nothing better than this right now. You can hear me. I'm gonna have no voice on our drive home. It'll be a nice, quiet drive back to Jersey by the time we're done with this hockey.
Lucas, right?
Lucky, I talk nonstop. I love the sound of my own voice. That's why I dress like this. Last thing, the pucks, right? You guys have a pretty awesome program you're working with, a foundation. Can you talk to the folks at home a little bit about that and kind of give them some information?
We're working with the National Suicide Awareness Program. We had some tragedy that struck one of the other conferences. The Indiana Collegiate Hockey Conference lost a former player to the tragedy of suicide just a few short weeks ago. And we started thinking about this and how we could honor the young man. Reese Miller was his name, how we could honor him. And then that just grew legs a little bit, and like, well, there's other kids struggling, and I'm a father myself. I consider myself a little bit of a father figure to some of these kids, and you realize, we just have to reach out to them. We have to make contact with them to let them know that you're not alone. There's people here for you. These coaches, I promise you, they put the boys' best interest ahead of the X and O part of hockey. And we just want to shine light on this, that it's okay to talk about this. If you're struggling, it's okay. There's people that care about you and are there to help you. And we just want to make sure kids, if we can do some small part to help raise that awareness, that's what this is about.
And we travel the country working with guys at this age. It's a tough age, right? You're going through college, you're dealing with classes, you're away from home a lot of times for the first time in your life for a lot of these guys. And it's so important. Hockey guys are tough through and through. We'll wear pucks, we'll check into the boards, we'll play with broken bones, we'll play with bruises, we'll play with everything. But mental health is so important, and it's not something to shy away from. Make sure you reach out, folks. Make sure you reach out to those who you think may need help as well. Commissioner Driscoll, what you guys are doing here is incredible, and this has been an incredible weekend so far with the TSCHL tournament. We thank you for joining us up here in the booth. It is 3-2, Miami of Ohio leading the Buckeyes. It was 3-0 at one point. I think last year we had a pretty good one towards the end. It looks like we're going to get that yet again here. Will it be a defending champion? Or will it be the Buckeyes with the hashtag Bucks Are Buzzing mantra? We'll be back to find out more. Dan Kay and Lucas Jones will bring you the rest of the way. Welcome back, hockey fans. A great interview with Commissioner Tim Driscoll. We thank him so much for having the Dan K Show out here. It's a great partnership, and we love being a part of this conference. Face-off about to take place, and potentially for the final time in the TSCHL season, it is hockey time here in Louisville. Dan K, Lucas Jones, what looked like it was all over, like the ladies were singing here and sending it off in that sweet good night. Oh, it is not. The Buckeyes, with 2 late goals in the second period, cut a 3-0 deficit to a 3-2 game, and that was taken out of the air and shot wide. Salt couldn't get enough on it. This one jammed through. Takes an odd bounce in front of the net off a stanchion. Creates an opportunity for the Buckeyes. Buckeyes right back after it. Buckeyes in the red-only jerseys with the small white trimmings. In the white, dominant, and red jerseys, Miami, Ohio. The white and red. That one hits the side of the net. Thrown in front, trying to jam it home, was J.P. Shimko. Back around. That one gets tangled up. It'll reel back around the boards. Takes another odd bounce. Going to create a chance with a shot deflected and stopped by Karasik. Rebound try goes low. It's kicked aside. Karasik yet again. It's Karasik world. You're living in it.
A great flurry of saves by the goaltender on that one. And from some tough locations and off a number of tough bounces. I think these boards might be Ohio State boards that they flew in for the game. I've never seen so many friendly bounces in a row.
Talk about puck luck. I am very unlucky. I don't think I've ever won a game of bingo in my life. I was almost attacked at a bar because I accidentally yelled bingo at the wrong time once.
Oh, they don't like that.
They don't like that one bit.
That.
Especially when you dress like this. Reeled around the board, into the corner, gets that one free. Had a man far side, couldn't get it to him. Instead of wrap it in front, bouncing puck. It went over the stick of Hoy. Oh, it would have been Ships Ahoy. There is a shot, is blocked right again by Lipovich. Buckeyes have come out buzzing here. There's a shot, I score! We're all tied up! 3-0. How about 3-3? Ships Ahoy! It's Jordan Hoy who's going to plant anchor in the back of the net. You bar! You down! You selling!
And just like that, Dan, we were all tied up. All it took was a bit of a reset, a bit of a calming, a bit of an inspirational speech or two, and here we are all tied up in the third period. Would you have it any other way on Championship Sunday?
When we do games, they're close. We travel this entire country covering hockey, all levels of it, and somehow it's always great as there's a shot on net, save made by Declan Rooney. The diving try, it slipped away from him. Out they come. Buckeyes on the break. Hands this one off. Going to be a backhand try. High. It's shoulder to side. Got a glove to it. Breakaway chance. Finds Revenue now. Revenue going to try to find Pater. It was deflected just wide by Segura. Segura couldn't put it in. Oh, I just got a Charlie horse in my calf. That was a painful call. Contact sport in the booth. Jammed on by, bouncing puck to be played. That one's handed off, couldn't find his way through to it. Flipped ahead by Revenue. Gets it onto the backhand side. The Buckeyes are out of the gates here. They've got every bit of energy right now. Redhawks have to slow things down. There's a backhand shot bouncing through way too early on the whistle there, and the Buckeyes frustrated with that one.
Yeah, I think right now you need to slow this game down. You got to use the boards to escape out of your own zone. You got to get things moving, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Miami of Ohio try to muck this game up at center ice. You have to start managing the game there again like you did in the first period.
Shot out of a cannon. The Bucks are buzzing. There's a shot blocked by Lipovich. Oh, Jack Lipovich is going to come up big here. He's got to steady that defensive side of the ice for his boys. He's got to play that role of leadership right here. Here comes Drew Bishop. Bishop going to plinko this one ahead on the Wallace. Wallace gets bothered there at center ice by Muha. Muha gets it away. Back into the zone here, spinning with a pass. That was Vineyard who tried to make that one. It's going to go backhanded on net. Just by Declan Rooney behind the net. Reeling this one through. Try to get it back up top. Ohio State on the break now. Staying wide side. Fakes the shot. Takes it through. Wrister low. Patted away. Back up top. Trouble not gone. That one's right point. Bike range. Had a man flashing through. Philip Smith stole it away. Oh, Mr. Smith says no thank you, sir, with that stop. 3-3 the score. Miami of Ohio back-to-back days with multiple goal leads going in the second period and having teams come back. Yesterday it was 2 unanswered. Today it was 3. I'll tell you, this Miami of Ohio team, they're great for ratings. Last year when they won their title, it was the most exciting game we called all year. This year, they're looking to do it again. It's a repeat time. Why not make it exciting? As this one shot on net, blockered away, and squirts itself loose for Wallace to play. He'll chisel it up the boards. Finding his way onto this one, breaking out is Joey Jenkins. Finding no friends here with a shot as it's kicked out of play almost, but winds up catching the very tippy top of the glass. Flipped on out, hand up, icing whistled, icing called. Ohio State will not get the change there. A good try to get over the boards, just racing for it at the end.
And I think right now it's that calm, right? It's that deep breath if you're Miami of Ohio. Now's the time to get yourself moving. You have an offensive zone face-off. Win this one, get it back, get some zone control, kill a minute or two. You have to tire out this Ohio State squad. They are absolutely buzzing right now.
There's a spinning shot from Torsten Lee, stoned by Declan Rooney.
Yeah, now this is going to have to become Rooney's game, Dan. He's going to have to put this team on his back. You cannot allow another goal.
A reminder from yesterday, Coach of the Year in the TSCHL, Jake Rochelle from Bowling Green. What a job by Coach Rochelle. We were really hoping to get to see a Bowling Green game. We didn't get a chance to do their game on the other rink yesterday, or 2 days ago, because it was on 2 games at the same time. I've tried the old osmosis thing, splitting myself in half, but I was unable to do it. Back in front, spinning through. That one's poked on free for Torsten Lee. Here comes the MVP, will reel it around. Yesterday had a game-winning goal in overtime. Today looking to repeat that. That'll be jammed along. Can't find it free. 3-3 your score. Back down into the corner. Getting a stick lifted there, making his way out. Torsten Lee going to find it at center. He'll spin it right back in. Out of his net to settle it down there. Miami of Ohio was looking for the icing, Ohio State was looking for the icing, won't get it. And this one comes through. Another reminder, your co-MVPs this year, Torsten Lee of Miami of Ohio and Ryan Hill of Bowling Green. There's a slap shot from center ice. Took that one from the parking lot. He just locked the car door and took the stick out and said, all right, I'm shooting it.
Well, there's the shot from the slot, there's the shot from the blue line, and then there's the shot from, I think, a different rink on the other side of town there.
He
Dan.
was far enough out that he could have bought us another drink from the snack stand there if he wanted to. Taking that shot from anywhere. You know you're confident there. Remind you of our co-rookies of the year. Ryan Hill from Bowling Green, who's won every award, and Mitch Morial of Xavier University. Congratulations to those two as this is stolen away. Handed off wide side. Spun along, trying to keep that one. He cannot. It's going to be held against those Zam doors. We're under 15 minutes to go now. Stolen away at the point. Shot by Shantz. It was gloved aside. He couldn't hold on to it. Wristed again, deflected by his own man high over the head of Karasik. Oh, Daniel Karasik has been under fire all period long as this one's up, hits the netting, out of play. Wow, this is a different Ohio State team right now. A very different Ohio State team.
This looks like Space Jam if they're coming out in the fourth quarter there after a little bit of the secret stuff. I mean, this looks like an entirely different squad. They're coming out with fire, with energy. They're establishing zone control. They're hot off the face-offs. This is a good-looking team right now.
Are you calling Miami of Ohio the Monstars? That's them's is fighting words.
Well, there's really no way to get around it with that metaphor. I guess you just have to pick a different metaphor from the start.
When they stole Charles Barkley's basketball ability, you know what he said? That's terrible. Terrible. Monstars out here stealing my terrible. I only can say the word terrible.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I had nothing else.
That's it.
Back on behind. Philip Smith on it. He'll go through the blue line. Nifty move. Down to the ice they go. Good handoff now. Toe drag to go wide side. Thought about jamming it in front. He will. Save made by Rooney. The puck was still bouncing loose. A couple of early whistles here in the last few moments on each side.
Yeah, getting a little testy on the whistle there. I mean, you want to make sure that, especially if guys are charging hard towards the net, there isn't any residual injury or any kind of thing that happens there, and you want to make sure the game stays clean. But these boys are frustrated frustrated. When they see that puck pop out and they can't play it, they definitely get frustrated.
I'll tell you what, you can call the fire marshal because this thing is heating up here. It is a really fun matchup right now between these two sides. This has been a beautiful, beautiful weekend in Louisville. That one thrown wide side for the shot. Big time stop by Rooney. Whistle blows again.
Oh, and now the boys are starting to discuss some plans for after the game, Dan. They're trying to figure out, which restaurant they want to go to after the game to celebrate.
I told you Mama's barbecue was better. Yeah, but I like Red State. Yeah, but we're not going all the way to Lexington. That's an hour and 15-minute drive. Yeah, but Mama's has the dry smoked wings there, the dry rub. Then they'll tell you the recipe. Knox is there. He's a great guy.
And these are the kinds of conversations they have on the ice in between shifts there, Dan.
Face off here. Hunter Wallace on it. Wallace will try to win this one back. He cannot because they've not dropped the puck. Now he will. He'll stand that one along. It's stolen right back by Gross. He'll chisel it ahead. Revenue tried to get out on the race. Won't find it. Back in through the corner. Good little dump in deep here. That's Gross who's down to play it. He'll jam this one through. The shot in front doesn't go. Bouncing on there. Good little look out. That's going to be Lipovich who dumps it back in. Holding and waiting with this one. On a change here is Ohio State. That's left off. Thought he had a man. He did not. That's going to be Schmidt who dumps ahead for Klinsky. Klinsky, we congratulate him again. Noah Klinsky, not just a great player, but a great kid, man. Noah Klinsky, the all-time point leader in the history of the Miami of Ohio program. What a huge day for him. Can he add a trophy to it? This one hits the back of his skate. That's Gross with it. Gross trying to hand it ahead. That one's stolen away now. Going to be on this one, moving on ahead, staying wide side. Backhand try goes around the back of the net. Jammed on in front, caught a skate before it could center on. Under 13 to go now. Handed off a skate. Fired on in, just past the net of Karasik. Ohio State's off for a semi-change. Hard hit behind the play. Getting the worst of it, the man who tried to dish out the punishment. That's Brandon Questel. Questel gets it back, fires it right back in. Good hustle play by him to get back into the play. Jumping down to this one, almost forcing a turnover. Puck trickles loose, fired out the center. Now if you're Ohio State, you have to continue to lean on Miami of Ohio. You have to use the numbers you have right now. Have to try to tire out that defense. Have to continue to push. You cannot sit back. Cannot wait for this game to come to you. The longer this goes, Miami of Ohio can get that second win, that second burst. You're in trouble. Holding wide side, waiting for the opening. Won't make the pass this yet. That gets caught up on the back of his skate. Low to high game now. Thrown in front. Shot. No. Somehow does not go. A beautiful pass in front for Philip Smith, who already had one in this one, who risked that one just over the glove side into the netting, out of play, and he could not believe it. Doubled over in pain after that miss.
Oh, you go back about 20 seconds and you watch that, you can see the exact moment in time when his heart just breaks after finding out that puck didn't go in.
Hunter Wallace wins the face-off. That's stolen away by the Buckeyes. They'll race out with this one. On it is Gross. Gross leaves off wide side. Tries to put it in front. Spinning shot attempt didn't go, just wide of the post. They got tangled up in skates and wound up getting kicked when Philip Smith came in to dish out a hit. Smith came in, hit J.P. Shimko, and his skate caught the puck and kicked it through. That one fired up the center. Going to take a nice little bounce for the Buckeyes. Holding wide side. Thinks about the shot. It's Clark who carries it, and it's Stone. Getting the pad to it with a huge stop is Karasik. The puck squirted through. Bodies went everywhere, and it almost found its way home, and now it's jammed on from the wide side by Clark. Just through the netting. Oh, it skated its way across the goal line about 3 inches away from a goal.
Miami of Ohio needs to tighten up their defense around their goaltender right now. They're leaving him to hang out to dry right now, Dan. You have to get a more physical presence in front of the net. You cannot let Ohio State get their big bodies in front like that.
Karasik has had to come up humongous, ginormous. You have the makeup words to talk about how big he's had to come up here late in the second and early in the third. That's Klinsky with a quick little trip on net. Save is made. A hit after the play. Not going to make any friends. Frustration and anger is all over the ice.
Yeah, and that's what's happening right now, Dan. I mean, these two teams, you got Miami of Ohio, who's frustrated at having to losing their 3-goal lead, but this Ohio State team is pesky right now.
Noah Klinsky takes a penalty after the whistle. You're now going to lose your biggest face-off guy right before a power play if you're Miami of Ohio, and that is a tough one to take right there. Not only important because he's one of your best players and the leading scorer in the history of the program, but this is a guy that wins face-offs in bunches. With that, in a tie game, 3 unanswered goals, the Buckeyes on the power play. Power play here for Ohio State. They'll kick it around the boards, holding on to that one. Thought about centering in front, he'll throw the brakes on. Has a man planted there. You're watching along with the Dan K Show here at @the_Dan K Show, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Give wide side. He'll hold that chance with a shot into the glove. Karasik with the stop. And with that whistle, we remind you the TSCHL Tournament is sponsored by PNC Bank. With their online and mobile tools, PNC Bank makes it easy to open a personal or business account. Get started with a home loan and help safeguard your financial future. PNC, your trusted bank for more than 160 years. Giving on behind. Holding with it, they'll trade places. That's Clark. Had a big game so far. On to Shantz. Watch out for Shantz. If you give him space for the clapper, he will give you trouble. Miami of Ohio trying to keep a high body there on him. Had a man in front, couldn't find him. Shot on net, save made. Rebound, tried, jammed at. Still doesn't go. Karasik gets the third one. It's underneath them now. Puck comes back, loads a shot, score! It's Nick Shantz in the nick of time. It's a power play goal! And the Bucks take the lead. Hashtag Bucks are buzzing. The Buckeyes from 3 goals down have clawed their way back to take the lead. And it's all-star Nick Shantz who gives them a chance.
And Shantz found his way through a literal human wall of Redhawks right there. Goaltender on his side, unable to get up. Redhawks players collapsing around him, trying to build themselves up brick by brick in front of the net. But Shantz found his way in there, Dan, and he put it in the back of the net.
Under 10 to go. Will the Buckeyes get the upset? Can Miami of Ohio dig back deep, find their way into it, get that goal? 4 unanswered scores with 5 minutes remaining in the second period. This is a 3-goal lead for Miami of Ohio. It looked all said and done as that one's tapped on net and covered up by Rooney. The Buckeyes come climbing back, clawing back, battling back, and now Miami of Ohio has to stay out of the box here, to stay out of the extracurricular after the whistle. You're tired. You're exhausted at this point. You're skating with cement right now.
Yeah, but you can't take penalties. You know, again, you talk about it time after time, game after game. You cannot take penalties in big situations like that. These teams are too skilled, they have too much talent, and they work day in and day out on different ways that they can take a power play approach. You have to play clean and stay out of the box for the rest of this one.
What a play by Nick Shantz on that one. Shantz got involved, got to the puck. There were 6 bodies laying around the net of Karasik. Shantz found the puck, backed it up away from everyone, skated through, and was able to fire it high side. The amount of times you see all that movement happen and the guy shifts his weight the wrong way and misses the net entirely. What a play by Nick Shantz, possibly the biggest play in the history of this Buckeye program if things hold the way they are.
Yeah, that could be one for the photo album at the end of the year, Dan, especially being, right under our camera here up in the booth. What a good-looking job, a great-looking opportunity. But now I think, Ohio State looks like they might have taken a penalty here, Dan.
Ohio State takes a penalty, and this is the most potent power play unit in the country. A hooking call goes the way of Noah Klinsky and his Redhawks, and Noah Klinsky wants to get that goal back that was given up on the power play after his penalty earlier. With that, the Redhawks down by 1. On the power play, a power play for the Redhawks. Trying to scrape their way back, trying to get the clearance, they won't. Huge hustle play by Madsen, keeps it alive for Lee. Lee has that one poked up into the air. Swinging clearance makes its way back out the center under 8 minutes to go in regulation. Will the Buckeyes upset the defending champions? Will Miami of Ohio battle their way back in? Oh, only time will tell. You better not go anywhere. You're watching for free with the Dan K Show, the TSCHL Conference Championship game. game. That one tipped away. Revenue trying to make a play on it. Has his man flashing through a little too much on the pass. Spinning shot, save made. Bounces almost onto the stick of Revenue. You can hear screams from the crowd as they thought it was going to be tapped home. Here comes Smith with a zone entry shot. No. Bouncing loose and low. Fired all the way back down. They'll retreat after it. Drew Bishop will have to reset. Second line comes out for the power play for Miami of Ohio. So what happens when you're running out of skates here as this one's skated through? Shot gets stopped by Rooney. You start losing some skates here, Lucas. You have to go a little quicker on the power play change. You can't keep your top line out there as long as you have to rely on them so heavily in the 5-on-5.
Yeah, this is one of those situations where, you have to start short shifting your guys.
Turned over in front of his own net, backhand shot, sprawling, save made by Karasik to keep him alive. What a play by Karasik. Had to stop it and did. Back behind for Clark. He'll play it there. Ohio State on the penalty kill reminder. They're down a man, controlling the game. It's going to be left out here. It's going to be raced down the other end. Holding wide side. The shot on the zone entry. Saved by Rooney. You're not going to beat him on that one. Too good between the pipes.
Yeah, it's a great save by Rooney and a good look by Miami of Ohio to get that zone entry. Starting to return to what they do well, Dan. That's firing pucks up and out of the zone, getting those zone entry looks, and then you have to get the face-off win now. That's the last crucial part of this scheme. You have to get that offensive zone face-off win, keep all 5 guys in the zone, and make some moves. Spread that defense out.
One down to the corner, fired on out. Buckeyes, what a period of play. You want to talk about picking the right time to play your best period of hockey? Let's try the last period of the TSCHL Conference Tournament. This one's jammed up ahead. Takes a good bounce from Miami of Ohio. Penalty's been killed, though. Back to even strength. 6 minutes to go. 6 minutes to go in regulation. Will the Buckeyes hold on? Will Miami of Ohio find a way back in? All the way down for Lipovich. Lipovich will jam it up to the blue line. Has Lee flashing out. Tried to find him. Knocked down out of the air by Klinkar. Klinkar takes a slot shot. Blocked by Lipovich. A huge block shot. Another shot from center ice goes wide of net. Couple bodies getting piled up there. Stolen away again. Miami of Ohio just having trouble getting out of their own zone right now. This Buckeye high pressure. It's the first time we've seen Miami of Ohio against it right now. They've been in the lead except for a tie with Xavier for a period and a half all tournament long. The first time they've trailed all tournament comes late in the third period.
Well, that high pressure is just so difficult to deal with, Dan. And, for a team like Miami of Ohio that likes to get out there and run, that high pressure stops them from doing that. You're seeing them having some trouble behind their own net, trouble in their own zone. What you have to watch out for now are those cross-ice passes in your own zone because those are dangerous, dangerous looks. Stay to the boards, get things out to the sides, and get inside that zone.
Lucas, I'll tell you what, this is going to be tough to pick an MVP in this thing, man. It's going to be tough to pick a star of the game as well for this one. It's anybody's ball game right now. Anybody's ball game. What a tournament for everybody involved. What an opportunity to be here. Thank you so much to all the viewers, all the listeners. Do not go anywhere. This thing is nowhere near done. Miami of Ohio had some late heroics last season. Had to score one with seconds remaining to send this thing into overtime. Will they do it again? Will those heroics reign their ugly head again for the Buckeyes or their beautiful head for the Miami of Ohio Redhawks? Who will it be? Who will make it happen? Puck squirts loose. That's going to find its way to Madsen. Madsen's going to take it through Mad World on the center. Lost control of it. Jam back up. The Buckeyes with no nonsense defending as that shot is blocked. Back out to the blue line. Fakes right now. Goes left with the shot. It's Vineyard who vines his way through to find the netminder Rooney who stones him.
Yeah, Rooney coming up big again. And, time after time, Rooney has found the lines on those shots. He's ready for those shots in the blue line. And he knows he can't allow those to become rebound opportunities. Those are shots where you have to be like a sponge. You have to absorb it and trust your guys are going to win that face-off.
Face-off one to the corner. That's reeled around the boards. Takes an odd bounce. Going to be handled at blue. Trying to find his man. Put it right behind him. Drew Bishop gets to it. Trying to get this thing into the zone. Swinging out after it. Can't find it. Lipovich putting the pressure on. Miami of Ohio skate this one in. That's Schmidt. Schmidt trying to keep the pressure on. Puck squirts loose. Smith couldn't find it as it's fired on out. Bouncing down for Bishop. He'll settle it there. Tapped on in. Crossing that line is Torsten Lee. Lee going to look to kick this thing back out. He won't find it. As this game gets later and later, you'll start to see, I can guarantee you, Torsten Lee and Noah Klinsky will be on the ice at the same time at some point, especially when that netminder's out. Going to have to start to put out those scores, get them out together. Timeout may be coming soon for Miami of Ohio as well to get a little breather. So down to the corner, Lipovich tries to play it. Tangled up there. Lee on it. Has a man flashing out. That's Schmidt. Won't give it to him just yet. Instead, he'll go to Smith. Smith on to Schmidt. That's easy for a broadcaster to say as the shot is taken into the glove of Rooney. He catches it. No nonsense goaltending right there out of Rooney.
Yeah, I think both teams right now, Dan, they're just looking to not get taken on the end. You know, they're not looking to get some guys behind them. They want to get behind the defense. Both teams just trying to play a little bit more conservatively. Neither team wants to get burned.
3:31 remains. It was 3-0 Miami of Ohio. Now 4-3 the Ohio State University. Will the Bucks go buzzing towards a title as they're looking for the offside call? Now they'll call it. That was one where the Ohio State Buckeyes bench made the call. And Hunter Wallace, I mean, we've seen a couple times this weekend where guys have kind of been good Samaritans. Hunter Wallace is a good Samaritan there.
Yeah, you know, you got to love the immediate reaction that gets picked up, even on our broadcast microphones all the way up here, Dan.
Every single guy said, off! Trying to make the call, they finally got the whistle. That one there, under 3:30 to go. Flipped up off the boards. Down to play this one. No icing coming. Breaks are going to be thrown. That's handed on to Wallace. Wallace out to Klinsky. It's stolen away. Handed on in front. Karasik had to flip it aside with a paddle. That was a confident little paddle flip there by Karasik. Thought he might just cover that one up, but he keeps it alive to the corner. 2:50 to go now in regulation. This one coming through. Handed up top. Trying to get there. That's jammed along. Back into the corner. Good little stick lift. Trying to get that flip out. This one's going to bounce all the way down. The hand is up. Icing will whistle. Icing will call here. And Lucas, what do you do if you're Miami of Ohio right now?
Well, I think right now you continue to press your advantage here. You know, you're going to have a tired Ohio State line out there after that icing call. You get some fresh guys out there in the ice, and you hammer that puck deep into the zone. Force Ohio State to forcibly eject you out of the zone here. And it looks like, Dan, they're not going to pull the goaltender. They are going to take a timeout, which is an interesting move considering the icing that would have kept this Ohio State line out there a little earlier. But I think Coach kind of wants to take this opportunity and devise a couple of plays for his boys right now. This is a team in Miami of Ohio that is an X's and O's friendly team. They love the challenge that's presented to them in these types of situations, and they are going to need to rise to the occasion here. If you're Ohio State, you want to focus on winning this face-off, getting it back in your zone, and clearing the puck out by the boards. If you don't win the face-off, your job becomes a lot harder because you know the Redhawks are going to be charging hard with something up their sleeve.
Just talking right now with the commish about the MVP and star of the game, just having a little conversation.
Little chat.
I'm a good multitasker. Said no one ever.
You are the worst multitasker.
If you ask me to text and breathe, sometimes I will. If I have a long text to send, I could faint.
Yeah, no, that won't work. If you ever hear extended vamping on my part, it's because I don't know if Dan is listening because he's currently doing something else.
Basically, I'm like a robot. Once you start speaking, I just shut down, and then I power back up when I hear "and Dan."
And Dan.
All right, we're going to come back out of the timeout here. 5v5 hockey. Netminder's still in here. That's Karasik, Daniel Karasik for the Miami of Ohio Redhawks. Handed back up top. That's pushed right in by Lipovich. Trying to get that extra push. You could see the Buckeyes wanted nothing more than to get right back out to the ice. They got out there after about 20 seconds on that timeout. Miami of Ohio trying to talk through everything, trying to set something up here. On behind, tried to flip it up. It's going to be cleaned right back out. Ohio State, it's been such a good job of just no-nonsense defending here. You have a lead. This team is so tough. Don't take chances. Get the puck out of the zone. Play it where you need to. Play this thing like a PK. Get it out the center when you need to. Holding here. Under 2 minutes to go. Getting late early for Miami of Ohio. Who will raise the cup? Who will win the tee? Stick around here. You'll have to watch with me. Dr. Seuss right there, Lucas, as this one's turned back to the corner. handing wide side. Low to high game now. Back up to that blue line. Lipovich with a shot. It got through. It was kicked to the corner. Lipovich yet again. Hands off one more time deep. Trying to get this thing behind the net. They will. That's Schmidt. It's stolen away. Flipped up off the glass and out of play. An attack zone face-off. Net is empty for the Redhawks.
Oh, and it's truly is do or die time right now for this Redhawks team, Dan. You know, they've got the extra attacker out there. This is an attacker-heavy team. They're a goal-heavy team. This is their time right now to get out there, throw some offense, win those battles in front of the net. This goal is going to be greasy.
The Ohio State University came in this tournament as a 2 seed, but I can tell you a lot of folks know how good throughout this TSCHL. They know how good, how unstoppable, how unbeatable this Miami of Ohio team is. To end the season, Ohio State dropped a game to the Dayton Flyers, who Miami of Ohio scored 11 goals against to open this tournament. Klinsky with a shot, it gets blocked, thrown in front of a bunch of the bevy of bodies, couldn't get the hands up, couldn't get it through. Handed back up top for Bishop. Bishop takes the wrister through bodies again, it gets blocked, squirts down, handed back up to the blue line. Hustle play to keep it alive. It stays alive, kept it in. Vineyard got to it, but not for long. Empty net here. Can they ice it with a shot from center? No. No shot coming. That one jammed up in bodies. Under a minute to go now. Will the Buckeyes find a way? Shot from the other end. No. Whistle blows. Icing called. It'll be another attack zone face-off with 44 seconds to go. Last year we saw a goal with 11 seconds to go. Will we see it again?
Well, right now, Ohio State supreme confidence in their defensive ability to be able to throw that puck down there, take the icing, and work through it. They trust their guys out there on the ice right now.
Noah Klinsky on a face-off. He's been so good on it. Unable to win that one. It's reeled around and out. It'll have to get reset. Under 40 seconds to go. Buckeyes now, by any means necessary, just trying to get in the way. Trying to stop that puck. Matson has to reset. Trying to stay calm here are the Redhawks. Smith going to come through center. Gets hit there and bothered. Out to the blue line. Dumped in by Schmidt. Down goes Torsten Lee to the corner. Shantz is going to beat him to it and clear it. What a play by Nick Shantz. It was touched. No icing. Nick Shantz, the captain, wearing that C with pride, making a huge play for the Buckeyes towards the end. That one tipped on the way through. No icing coming. 10 seconds to go. Time trickling away. Redhawks can't find an opening. It makes its way to center. That's going to do it. The Buckeyes are the TSCHL champions. David beats Goliath. O-H-I-O-D. Ohio State University is the TSCHL champions. Congratulations to the Buckeyes. Lucas, nice level.
And now Dan's going to run down to ice level to help the TSCHL Commissioner Driscoll present this trophy, crown our tournament MVP, and our Dan Key Show star of the game. Stick with us here on the YouTube stream. We thank you guys for joining us as always, but stick around for tournament presentations and some end-of-game interviews. We want to thank a couple people for jumping in on the live stream here. Tara Von Der Noot, love the commentary. Declan Rooney, his family watching from 5 locations. Your Buckeyes just won themselves a TSCHL championship. Congratulations out there. This game was a fun one, folks. I tell you what, this TSCHL tournament every single year surprises us. It excites us. It gets us ready to watch some competitive hockey at this level. And invariably, this championship game is always a fun one to watch. This one was no different. Miami of Ohio Redhawks came into this one as the tournament favorite, and they proved that they were the top team to beat. Coming into this one against the number 2 Ohio State Buckeyes, they scored 3 unanswered goals to open the game, and then Ohio State scraped and clawed and fought their way back from a 3-goal deficit to win this game for Ohio State. And now it looks like we might be going down to Dan K at ice level.
Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, what an incredible tournament hosted by Louisville University in one of the best cities in all the land. But today we have to crown a team that was the best squad in all the land. We talked about it on the Dan K Show when we said this weekend that hashtag the Bucks were buzzing. And this Buckeyes squad, the Ohio State University, are the TSCHL champions. So first things first, before we announce our MVPs, I think we need to hand out a little bit of hardware. So could I ask the El Capitan to make their way out? And with that, Commissioner Tim Driscoll will make the handoff of the TSCHL title. Take it away, Ohio State! O-H-I-O! The Buckeyes, your champions here in the TSCHL. This Miami of Ohio team, we have to start there. What an incredible tournament for them. The defending champions, valiant effort, down men, 5 defensemen, 9 forwards, fought through this tournament. And as these guys start to skate this thing around, I'm going to ask for 2 guys to come join me. First, let's start with a netminder that yesterday allowed just 1 against a potent Indiana side, Declan Rooney. He's got 2 hats. He's the owner of his own haberdashery. He is a real hat man right here, and he's got the flow that we're going to have to cover up. Declan, first of all, how's it feel to be the TSCHL champ?
I mean, yeah, can't describe it. Kind of speechless. We knew we weren't out when it was 3-0. I mean, we got a great group here. Everyone knows how to grind it out, and it's amazing.
You guys absolutely battled there. You had a netminder on the other end that early in the game was unstoppable. You couldn't get it past them. You see the game get tied up there. What's that mental feeling? You got to lock down.
I mean, at that point, you know, it's just battle to the very end. I didn't have a doubt that we were going to come out with it in the end, and I knew just I had to do what I had to do, and the boys, I mean, tremendous job in the defensive zone at the end. I mean, just made it easy on me.
Is the work done yet? What's next for the Buckeyes?
Oh, no, absolutely not. We're going to regionals next weekend, and we're looking to cause a stir over there.
These boys are looking to cause a stir, and let's talk about a guy that caused a stir all game long today for me up in the booth. A flawless effort on the defensive end, the biggest clearance of the game there at the end, and kind of a big deal of a goal, I'd say. You know, not a big deal, though. Let's bring Mr. Shantz out here, who gave his boys a chance. Pop this puppy on, come in here. And this is a guy who wears that assistant captain. You know, normally I don't give out the award to someone who makes me look really short out here, you know what I mean? Thank you very much. But Nick, man, you came out here, you led this team to game defensively. You got the big hits, and you get that big goal. During that scurry, how do you find that puck there?
You know, I was just looking for it, and as soon as I found it, came out, I knew where it was at, so I put it top shelf, top Ched. Columbus got a world champ, baby. Columbus got a world champ.
Columbus got a world champ. Now, there's another trophy to be won here. How do you guys go get there? How do you go top Ched again? How do you go bar down Selly? How do you get that next not a big deal down the road?
Well, I think we just pick up where we left off next weekend at regionals, and we win 2 games, we go to nationals, and that's really that's the goal that we all kind of had from the beginning of the season. So hopefully that's what we end up getting. So,
boys, I want to close it out on this. Let me just, if I said O-H, your TSCHL champion. We've got a banner here. Congratulations, Nick. Congratulations to all the guys. And thank you for watching all weekend long on the Dan K Show, your home for junior, college, NCAA, ACHA, all things hockey. This has been Dan K. That's Lucas Jones up in the booth. The Buckeyes, your TSCHL champs.
And we want to thank you all for joining us. That was Dan K at Ice Level. These are your Ohio State Buckeyes, your 2020 TSCHL champions. For Dan K on the play-by-play, myself, Lucas Jones, on the color commentary, and producer Lena taking those beautiful pictures all over Instagram. We want to thank you for joining us for this TSCHL tournament. We're going to let the feed run a little bit while these boys enjoy themselves, but for all of us in the broadcast booth, signing off for this one.